to have tomatoes on burgers. You can also put pineapples on burgers.
Hello,
Don't
welcome
put too
to
many
episode
pineapples,
episode
right? Like, if you
two
put too
of.
many pineapples, it'll taste
Hang
weird.
on, I really didn't think this through because I can just mute you. Um, welcome to episode 2 of The Great Marriage. We were having a discussion. Um,
But how Lee is clearly in the wrong.
and now I can unmute him again.
Hang on, Ollie, you're doing it wrong. If you're going to do an intro, you have to do it after the cold open, not before the cold open, right? Like,
Listen, okay, let me lay down the scenario for you. I said that I had soup, right? Mexican beef soup, and it's gorgeous and beautiful, and I love it. And there's nothing more delicious in the world. And Lee tried to come back at me saying that he had burgers, right? And they were good burgers, not American burgers. And you know what? I can accept that the American burgers are not the greatest. All right, I can feel that. Mexican burgers, on the other hand, are great. Anyway, but he tries to tell me this. I'm like, okay, whatever, burgers. And then he mentions pineapples. I'm sorry.
I don't see why you feel so strongly about pineapples in burgers.
Because pineapples don't belong in fucking burgers any more than they belong on pizza.
Well, pineapples are sweet, tomatoes are sweet. You put those in burgers, so you should put the other one in too.
It's like putting applesauce on pork, you know?
Yeah,
it's like
it works.
Sweet things and meaty things and salty things go well together.
I'm sorry, you guys put applesauce on your pork?
Yeah.
What? I
jam?
Can't play in a game with you guys. You are clearly all some sort of like
Have you done
abominations?
Turkey and jam?
Turkey is disgusting.
Everyone has different. It's not jam. It's cranberry. Oh no, it is jam. Isn't
Cranberry jam.
Cranberry jam. Yeah.
Turkey is disgusting.
Okay, fine. Put it on something else. It works though.
No.
Have you tried it?
It's like maple bacon. You know.
I
also don't like bacon.
Yeah, I don't like bacon either. But
we have now had enough of this discussion. It is clear that there will never be a resolution.
Everyone in the world has different tastes.
Listen, you can have your different tastes if you fucking want, but it's like you can't look at a Brazilian pizza and tell me that's okay.
Lee, as your punishment for this miserable start, you can give me a recap of what happened last time.
We did some dungeon crawling. We crawled some dungeons, but before then, we arrived at the temple, and then after in the dungeon crawl, we were ambushed by creepy creatures, which we don't know what they are yet. But before that, right, we were going into a village, and the village had statues, and so like that's the creepy creatures I was talking about. One of them was a statue which had turned into a moving thing. So anyway, like the statue that had turned into a moving thing, we figured out that like they were moving because there was a pedestal on it. And then after that, we went into the temple, and inside the temple, we found some markings, which we weren't really sure what they were of. And then we went down a few holes because they hadn't invented staircases yet, or we didn't have magnetic boots. At which point we got to a side passage, had an argument about which passage to take first, eventually took the other passage, and then before that we blew hinges off that passage. And then we went through the first passage.
Oh my god.
Guys, I've put some Brazilian pizzas in Discord.
That was an artfully
masterpiece.
That was an artfully horrible summary of last time.
I was trying to figure out how to do it the worst way possible. And I figured
my god.
I think I started out really well, but I sort of tapered off towards the end because I couldn't keep jumping from the start of the story to the end of the story.
Listen, I hate to bring up this conversation. Like, Will, you can't look at these pizzas and tell me that this is God's work. This is Satan.
It looks like tasty bread with tasty toppings. All right.
That's it. I can't fucking play this game anymore with you. I swear to God, I'm leaving. Goodbye.
That's why pizza is such a great food, because it's bread and everyone loves bread, and then you just
I
put
feel
whatever
like-
toppings you like on it.
I feel
They
like
put a cake in the very middle, Will.
Yeah, I can see that. Look, sometimes you just want cake on your pizza. I can
Pizza cake.
understand that.
Pizza cake. Okay. Alright, maybe we should get back to the topic of that. Because I'm sure Ollie has a better.
there is no
Someone said
salvaging
I do.
this. I'm just gonna delete this and start again. I'm honestly tempted. I am legitimately tempted.
You'd have to like reset up the whole stream, which is
You could do like a deleted scenes
Listen,
thing and then
Ollie,
say that's the
you-
deleted scene, and then we start from
Ollie,
here.
you have to accept that as a GM, this is what's going to happen sometimes.
It is. Good. So we've had the summary from last time. So let's go over our characters' beliefs.
Wait, you totally forgot the part where we heard some shit and we almost fucking killed what's his face, Tepiani.
Yeah.
So I did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that
What was
happened.
not
it?
you.
Yeah, whatever.
Teo almost
happened-
killed him.
That happened almost in the middle of the session. So like we were never going to get to that ever.
I was there. Talking blasting cat.
Yes. So
Now
So
no
let's
one
go
is
through-
guarding our backs.
let's go through beliefs. Let's start with who wants to start?
Mine haven't changed, so I don't have to say them.
Okay.
I think you'll find that's true for all of us.
So no
Which
one has
is the
changed their
trouble.
beliefs.
Yeah, he's got. I'm just
so
gonna
let's-
go through them anyway.
Well, yeah. Let's just summarize.
What
the
if somebody decides I don't want to watch a dungeon crawl and go straight into the second session and hears about pizza cake and is suddenly very interested?
beliefs?
I've got one about finding the recipe to immortality before my arch nemesis Kana does. Got one about making sure everyone knows I'm the boss, and I've got one about
It's not going so great.
Hey, I'll get there. Don't worry. I got a sword. I've got one about the true nature of the world and how all our actions are predetermined, and so we're not responsible for any of it. And
I
also
feel
that
like someone bullied Surya as a child, right? And then she adopted this philosophy to sort of like explain away why someone bullied her and not
Oh,
have
no.
to think about the fact that she was insufferable, and that's why kids bullied her.
I had to get bullied. It was.
so I was on the plan. Like the factors were already there. It was gonna happen, so it happened.
Mm.
And also how it's important to know things, because knowing things is how you make the world better. That's my beliefs.
So, Will, do you want to summarize your beliefs quickly for us?
Okay, my beliefs are: these tombs are dangerous. I must keep our party safe. Kilu Coatl has deserted the Hallowed Frontier, and I will coax her into telling me about the Beyond. Belief 3 is that foreign youth is flaunting her wealth even out here in the wilds. Surya must learn humility. And my special belief is Mozilla wants to share the gift of immortality with the Otsa people, and I will find it for him, so our first clue is somewhere in these tombs. My instincts are always peek around every corner, always sing to quell the restless dead, and cull wealth from dead people.
You mean Grave Rob
Yes, great,
Or-
great.
or
Grave Rob.
Tomb Raider?
Let me list you my beliefs,
Yep.
and they are. Oh, I love the soup.
It looks
It's not a
like
belief. That's a statement of fact.
You're a bad person.
When did you guess?
How do you earn
Cackle.
Arthur? I love this soup.
You don't.
Anytime
Until
that
you
you go
moat break
against
and
that
decide you
belief,
don't like that soup.
right, and decide that you don't, that soup is not lovable. then you get Mold Baker or something. I don't know. I need to
Renounce
get
the
immortality so I can kill people.
Yep.
And not just kill people, I need to kill them violently, horrifically. They need
Yep.
to die screaming.
Yep. And then you need to be immortal so you can continue killing all their descendants forever.
Basically. I'll
Yeah.
leave them alive just long enough to make descendants and then kill them and then hunt their descendants down.
Yeah.
So their descendants will grow up in the knowing fear that they will soon die by my hand.
Yeah.
I respect Tail because he looks like he's a man with a fine head on his shoulders. Definitely not because he's really done anything. This is all perception. He could be some sort of grave robber, really. And I would never know. How horrendous would that be? And then poor Surya is clearly a lost sassy child, and I must protect her.
Sassier than Sarsaparilla.
I'll kill you. And then I have to perform rituals over the desecrated dead to make sure that they're not desecrated anymore. Or at least so that their souls can go into peace.
Yes. Okay. So we started last session we ended last session
On a
with
cliffhanger.
the party hearing noises from around the corner. The harsh metal scream of a door. One of the metal grates being opened. And from behind the party, looking back towards the opening that you'd come down to this floor from, you heard, Kilu, you saw the glowing eyes of a cat-like creature peering at you through the darkness.
Okay, so wait, hold on. The grate closed behind us.
No,
But-
you've heard a great open a great moving in front of you, right?
In front, okay. And then I turned around.
Because you've been following
then-
the footsteps of some people who've been clearly opening
Up to no good.
opening a series of gates and going further and further into this temple. And then you at the back turned around, hearing some sort of small noise, or perhaps just checking behind you. And you saw through the darkness the reflective, glowing eyes of a creature, a cat-like creature.
I would like to hiss at it using all of my monstrous form.
Oh yeah, you could actually try and intimidate it, probably.
Yeah.
We'll attempt it.
Do we want to just start with that? Like, you're trying to what would you be trying to do? You're trying to just scare it away.
I'm still trying to get like what exactly Killua's voice sounds like, and I've kind of decided that it sounds like someone who's been not like smoking for 40 years, but been in a horrendous fire, so like their vocal cords have been like scorched, burned, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And it sounds all raspy and horrifying. Very, very unsettling, right?
Yeah.
But beyond that, not sure if that hiss is going to be affected by this. So no, yeah, we hear this grate and everyone falls silent as they try to like focus on what's ahead and trying to peer through the darkness. Meanwhile, Killua hears this tiny little scrape in the
Yeah.
background and turns
think-
around, and with my glowing eyes.
You see it
Like-
just sort of stood there watching you. Like, I don't think it's approaching closer. It seems to be like it's watching you from just like at the end of the corridor, keeping a distance between you. I don't
Mhm.
think it expects that you can see it.
And in return, I like grip my flail in one hand and just go. And it's like hissing in its direction, like baring my teeth at it.
Okay. So you're trying to get it to like what are you trying to do?
Well, first off, with this loud hiss, I'm drawing attention to like my teammates. Hey, there's something behind us. Second
Yeah.
off, I would like to
Right.
intimidate this motherfucker so it doesn't approach us. Because I would not like to start a fight in these halls. This is not a place for fighting.
So yeah, I guess I would I turn around and see this thing.
I mean,
You don't.
do you?
You
Would I?
you maybe see the glint of glowing eyes in the darkness.
Oh right, okay.
I don't know if I got a good look. I don't know if I got any look actually at the cat creature outside. So
I think you did because you helped
Yeah,
with
you
the test.
okay. So like, do I know that this is the same cat creature?
I don't know how good a look you got at either of them.
I mean, either of them. This was right in front of my face.
It's a way away, right? And
I have perfect dark vision.
but your dark vision is, I think, described as lynx eyed. So as in like you rely on ambient light to some extent.
Which there is some coming from Syria.
There is some coming from the top. Yeah, so like you can see this thing, but like I think asking like, can I make out distinctive patterns
See
on
if
it
it's the same one that we
to
saw.
see if it's the same
Yeah, I
one?
suppose. Okay.
Like, I could ask for a perception test on that one, or I could just
Would it
leave it
matter?
as like
Does
a
it
thing
matter?
that I don't know.
Just
You can
say
tell.
yes.
No, I don't think it's possible to tell. I don't think
And
there's any.
Orc's eyes glow red with the inner fire of despite. What the fuck is the word despite? And hatred.
like-
Orcs can see clearly in darkness and shadows. They never suffer a penalty for such conditions.
Yeah, so it's like broad daylight
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. You're right. It doesn't actually matter that much.
My concern is whether or not I got a good look at the first one. I can see this one, but did I get a good look enough to compare the two? Or do I just know, oh, this thing looks similar to the thing that we saw outside?
Yeah, it's not obviously different. Like, I think you can assume it's the same one.
Okay. I don't think I immediately recognize that the others can't see it. Aside from glowing eyes. So I just say something like, it's back.
What is?
The cat, the thing.
And we can't see anything? Or is it like just too far in the darkness?
I think you said that you see like glowing eyes.
Yeah, I think you maybe see glowing eyes, and then
the light in the iris or something. Right?
yeah. Like
Oh, the
now that
reflected
you can-
eyes would be
Yeah,
more spooky.
now that you can now that it's been pointed out, you can maybe see something glinting, like two somethings glinting in the darkness.
I think like we see Tapiani to her side with like his pistol pointed at it.
Yeah.
Shakily. And when Surya sees it, like she gives it a little yelp. Okay. So
So you're hissing at it, Jen, is that right?
I'll take a step forward, like
Are you actually gonna try and intimidate it, or
I'm trying to intimidate it.
okay?
I'm trying to make it run away.
Yeah, I think like seeing you step up and trying to like scare it off. I think to help out, I'm gonna like start singing like a war song or something, like a more aggressive, yeah, like a barking song almost.
Baller. I
Like,
get my own soundtrack.
Have you guys ever seen the New Zealand rugby players do that
Yeah.
dance before every
hakus?
match? Yeah, something like that, similar to that, I think. So I'm going to
Okay.
help with sing if that's possible.
No, that sounds cool. So I think the failure here is that that this thing is going to it's going to protect, like it's going to slink away, but it's still going to be following you and look for an opportunity to jump on you when you're weak.
Oh, great.
Okay.
It's the Panther
And
all
if-
over again.
Yeah, if you succeed, it will go away and go somewhere else, right?
Hopefully,
Okay.
there's no head injuries this time.
So Ob would be its will, I think, if this is intimidation.
Yeah.
Don't you have like an open-ended intimidation, Jen?
I can use my something for
Like
it.
you have magic
This is
hatred
where we
fueled
are.
intimidation, don't you?
You have
You
magic
have
hatred.
brutal intimidation.
Brutal intimidation.
That's-
Yeah,
Um,
that's naturally
Yeah.
open-ended. isn't
So
it?
is there a way that this is is there a way that you are being brutal about this intimidation, or is this like just puffing yourself up and being intimidated? Because I don't know whether we replace the skill with brutal intimidation. You can use brutal intimidation anytime you use
No,
regular
I'm with you.
intimidation.
I'd
Or if we
say yes. It's like the orc equivalent of a
Yeah.
skill song, isn't it?
Not quite. It's a skill, right?
Yeah, but I mean, differentiating between whether an intimidation
Yeah.
is brutal or not is splitting hairs, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Given that it's an orc-only skill.
Yeah. So I guess it's brutal intimidation.
Yeah.
Plus a dice from help. Plus whatever forks you want to make against obstacle. of-
Unfortunately, the only forks here are torture and interrogation.
Yeah. I think this is an obstacle of 4.
Keegan, please. Can't see.
Sounds pretty easy.
No, Keegan. No, don't rub yourself on my book. I need to see.
Yeah, all it says for the skill description is that this is a special intimidation skill.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I think just call it intimidation, right?
Yeah,
it's basically intimidation, but because orcs are scary.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
And it's rooted in hatred, so it's magic.
Wait,
My
rooted in
eyes start
hatred?
glowing brighter as I do my hissing. Because it's magic or something.
Mm.
Okay, brutal intimidation. Hey! What the fuck?
Mhm.
Who's switching my character sheet?
Sorry, my bad. I was checking if your hatred was 6. This could be 3 whole dice.
Rooted from. Wait, why is my brutal intimidation only
No.
2 then?
Because it's
Because
rooted
it's not
on
6,
hatred.
it's
It's
3.
5, right? So it
Yeah.
divides
Oh,
in
okay.
half and rounds down.
Mm-hmm.
I took Ollie at face, I took Lee at face value and 6.
I-
Why is-
I said I was checking if it was 6.
Yeah, it's not.
I've been fucking lied to. Yeah, that's right, team. Go ahead. Alright, so I get 1 modifier. Anybody else want to help, maybe?
Don't think Soria is in like the
You
brain
guys are
space to
some
help.
weak bitches.
Yeah.
You and your bodyguard.
Oh wait, Tepiani's definitely helping, right? He's got a pistol aimed at it.
He's in his
Okay.
shaking hand.
Just
What kind of intimidation is
there-
that?
Hey,
Does it
you'd be
understand
scared
what a pistol
too if it's
is?
dark.
Tepiani is not
It's
really
the
able to
pistol.
help with this.
Because
Well, I'd
Because
say a
how the hell's
pistol
it
is
going to
only
know what a
threat.
pistol is?
Yeah, a
So
pistol
what do
is
they
only a
just fire
threat if
at?
you know what a pistol is.
Right, it might be afraid of of a sword, maybe, right? Or like a spear, but it it's not going to have any reason to know that.
Mm. See, you should have given me the pistol. I knew it.
uh,
You literally just bought this character so you could get a pistol, didn't you?
yes, he did.
No, I didn't. If I wanted a pistol, I could pay for it.
So you wanted to taunt yourself with the option of a pistol. Oh no!
I
Oh,
got
you
two
got.
sixes
That's also
already
exploited.
expended.
So
It
and
already
one
5
fate.
fate.
You can spend a
Nice.
fate to re-roll a traitor.
Hot diggity. You can do it, I believe. It's so easy.
Come
Can I
on.
spend more than 1 fate?
No.
You
All you bitch.
ain't no sage.
I'm gonna put one fate in here. Then. Oh right, 3D dice doesn't work with better role playing. Okay.
There should be a macro for it. In
Yeah, if you open the macro bar.
bar.
Yeah.
Or just roll a d6.
yeah, that too.
You just need one success after
Misspelled
all.
roll.
Roll.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. Hot.
5.
Extremely successful.
So that's 4.
That's so challenging.
Yeah, still challenging because you rolled
Nice.
3 dice, but some of them exploded. So we did it. We scared it off. What?
We did it!
So yeah, like as you take a step forward, it starts prowling forwards as well. And then you hiss at it, and like together, the noises you're making, like it's surprised that it's clearly surprised that it's seen it. Stops in its tracks, opens its mouth, and lets out its own long, growling hiss. And yeah, backs away down the corridor, and you hear it turning around and moving away up through the temple.
Yeah.
Somebody should watch it.
Good work.
In case it comes back.
I'll stay here and guard your backs if you want, Tepione says. Like he's holding his pistol, he's like pointing it in front of him.
I give him a glance and say, like you did earlier.
In this case, it wouldn't help unless he has his own light source. It would be useless.
Yeah, he like flushes red.
Very well. I suppose
Better
since
for us to
you
stick together.
managed to spot it earlier, we just let you keep doing that. Oh, my apologies. I didn't mean to say that we leave someone behind. Simply that somebody watched our back, so to speak.
I'll stay in the back.
Thank you.
Also, totally unrelated, definitely out of character. Please look at my cat.
You know, I feel like we should set specific break times for out of game bullshit like this. So we have like the avenues to do this.
Yeah.
No, you
That
have to
is
look at my
good
cat
cat.
immediately.
It's a good cat.
I didn't manage to get a picture of it, but as you can see, she's rubbing her face in my book, but she did it while standing, so her butt was just like against my screen.
This is
I
good
can
radio.
Great radio.
This is what happens when you have a cat.
Yeah.
You go insane.
So you're in this corridor.
Very dark.
You've wound round
Very
through
dark.
the
Oh.
strange tombs underneath this inside this cigarette, And it's likely that you've almost caught up with the people you've been following. Because you can hear sounds of, well, you've heard the sound of someone.
You can hear them
Just up
farting in the
ahead.
distance.
Sorry, what?
There was the noise of movement up ahead, right?
Hmm.
And the corridor continues round. It turns a corner to the right, just up ahead.
Hmm.
I guess I take point.
You guys are in the front. I'm not.
Let's go say hello. Yeah. Well, we make that turn.
Yeah. Okay. So so Will, as you turn the corner, are you doing anything in particular?
Well, I'm peeking around the corner because that's my
Hmm.
instinct. But if there's nothing immediately visible when I peek, then I guess I'll walk down the corridor.
Okay. Yeah. I think yeah, so you don't immediately see anything. You turn around and you see that there's a gate that's been left that's open. And this is actually another pair of gates. It's one off to the left and one in front of you. And the footsteps that you've been following split off in both directions. One of the gates is hanging open and the other one is closed.
Which one is which?
So the one off to the left is closed, and the one leading forwards, and then the path ending against a wall is open.
So this is like a key entrance.
Yes, and you're on one arm of the T, right? And
You're always on one arm of the T if it's a T intersection.
You could be on the body of the T.
Oh wait, yeah.
What?
Okay,
But isn't
so
that just arm?
So there's a path going straight forwards and then a path going to the left or right.
There's one going to the left. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
and the one left is open, and the one forward is closed.
The one left is closed, and the one forwards is open.
Okay.
Sorry,
All right.
a lot of information.
This is
I'm
why
being
maps are
distracted
useful.
because Tegan is attempting to eat my fucking salad.
Is the one that's closed locked?
You test it? Yeah.
Yeah,
It is locked.
I'll just push against it gently.
Yeah, it's locked.
Okay, let's
the
go
footsteps-
through the open door then.
The footsteps keep going in both directions. There's clearly footsteps in both directions.
Let's keep going through the open door because that will just be easiest.
Mm,
I
she's aggressive.
turn to Surya's hesitation and say, "What? You want to blow up another door?"
If I were to make a distraction, this is exactly what I would do.
You could
But-
make a distraction, or you could let them actually run even faster, and then we would never catch them.
Yeah. She's walking and like fast walking as she's saying this.
Hmm.
But I suppose we can interrogate the ones we catch.
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll just keep on down the corridor with the open gate.
Okay. Are you singing still?
Yeah, I guess I'll pick up my singing again.
It's a chasing song.
Got a song for everything. No, I think this is still like picking back up into the rhythm that I was in before about like quelling the restless dead.
Okay.
If you start, I think Surya is just like, could you please stop that? It is not helping us.
I say, it is keeping. I point to like one of the shelves on the side of the wall with a dead body on it, and I say, were I not to be intermittently singing, these corpses may well rise and slay us.
Then perhaps you should start singing when they start rising. In the meantime,
Then it will be
let's
too
keep
late.
the things which are already coming at us at bay with silence.
I already
I
know.
I look towards Kilu. Yeah.
I already know we're coming. No point in silence now. We've given away that angle.
They know we're coming, they don't know where we are. We keep humming, they keep knowing.
Through what? The other unlocked corridor that somehow appeared behind us while we weren't looking.
Sorry, unlocked corridor?
Well, we got to a T
We
intersection.
came through, yeah.
Okay,
And then there
we
was a
came
locked
from the
one when we came.
solitary corridor from one way.
Yes,
The other
and
way
then we
is
heard
locked to the
footsteps, two
left, and then
sets.
there's one to the front. So, like, which exactly corridor are we supposed to be coming from? That's a secret.
No, I meant the locked one. Anyone who was running through those corridors must have had a way in. They will have a way out as a result. Letting
This
them
is
know
useless.
where we
I'm
are.
gonna push past Surya and just start. I just take.
No,
my
no,
time.
like-
I'm just gonna run.
We keep moving, right?
I'm gonna
But
run.
Surya is
I'm
saying
running.
like, shut up.
I'm pushing past Surya and I'm running. Like just flat
yeah.
out.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you reach the end of this. The end of the like, the straight corridor that leads past the door leads to another drop downwards.
How far is this drop?
It's the same as the other ones. It's not. It should have,
Huh. Okay.
Did we hear a drop?
You didn't hear. Like, I think the sound of like people jumping down to another floor would be less loud than the noise of a door opening noisily or closing
Here's the
noisily.
question:
Right, but is it louder than footsteps?
when I look around, do I see those same grappling hook marks that we saw in the other places?
That's a good question. Oh, I feel like this could be. No, we rolled for this before. Like, you've noticed. Yeah, you've looked for these before. You know what you're looking for. Yes. There's another set that like of scratch marks on the stone on one of the shelf. Like it's clearly, again, they've hooked on a rope, dropped down the rope quickly, and then hooked the rope back again. And you must have missed the noise of the grappling hook moving in all the commotion just now. That's all they've already like. Well, they'd already done this.
How
and
far
moved on.
is the drop? Like any distance?
You know, like 8, 9 feet. You know, not much higher than a person.
Can I jump that?
Oh yeah, no, we've done this.
We've
before.
been
Jumped that.
climbing down all these,
Okay.
haven't we?
Well, I thought we climbed down like carefully or some shit. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you'd
I don't know how
You could do that.
All right, I'll jump down.
yeah, cool. Yeah, so
Exactly.
the corridor ahead of you like leads around to the right.
I call down, Kilu, don't get too far ahead.
Are you going to keep rushing?
I'm gonna keep rushing.
I'm keeping
cool.
pace.
So yeah, I'd like you to roll
Speed.
observation versus
It's a trap.
yeah. Observation versus. I'm not sure what I'd roll for this.
Trapped.
trap. Yes, I will roll
Into the
an
trap.
Unfortunately, I don't have observation.
And
Right.
they don't have trapping either.
Let's find
Excellent.
QRS.
Well, it could be.
Don't give him ideas, Will.
All right.
Trapper. Man snares. Ob 4. Wow. I'll call it obstacle.
Bless you.
I don't have penalties for darkness. If it's something really obvious like a fucking bear trap, I would probably see it.
Yeah, it's not going to be a bear trap. It's I think this is probably only ob 2, right? I think this is like it's not super. It's not just like lying out in the open. There's a minimal attempt to disguise this by like kicking dust over it, and like they pulled down some of these spiders or whatever, like just like they've shoved some stuff on top of it basically. But at the same time, it's not actually difficult to see unless you're dealing with the darkness, and they're not expecting you to be able to see it. So yeah, perception versus. Well, would this be Yes. So
Yes,
it's
would be
meant to be
observation.
observation. So it's obstacle 2, but double obstacle penalty.
I'll
Let me
help you.
Let me
Because-
open the new skill, observation.
I might actually be getting a perception test out of this.
Is that? I'm gonna assume that's in perception.
It's perception. Yeah.
It's pure perception, baby.
All right, and someone is helping me.
Yeah, Surya's keeping pace, so she's watching as well. And she's got lighting, so it's not that different, I think. Please pick 2 dice worth of help, because I have a B6.
Oh, fuck!
I feel like it is fair for you to help, but like, yeah,
Base up 2.
Would you like me to make a speed test
Yes,
to keep up?
2, 2,
No.
2.
Yeah, it's
Base
base
up 2.
like if you were the one in front, I'd definitely be more cool about Kilu helping. Yeah, okay,
Bitchin'.
nice. So yeah, you're running along this corridor and you almost stumble on a what seems to be a rope, just like it's tied
I just want everyone to know, right, that looking at these successes, the last 2 dice, which are the helper dice,
Shut
did
up,
nothing.
Jen.
for me. So
Yeah,
I
shut
saw
up.
it, not sorry.
I think there's like there's like a gap in the stone that they've wedged a little wooden peg into, and then there's a rope, like a snare tied onto that, and you, instead of putting your foot directly into it, you step around it.
I see her
What's
do
the
that, and I'm
snare
like,
do? Like, what is it connected to something else, or is it
No,
just literally
like
something to
it's
hold
literally
you?
just if you'd step into it and like kept moving, it would have like tied your foot, held you in place, and then it would have been difficult for you to move away from this, right?
So buying them more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
who set up
in-
traps here?
I just rip it out of whatever peg it's next, like held to on the wall. Like as I
It's
see it,
wedged into the floor, yeah. So
like I just see it and I just take the rope and I just fucking like yank it.
yeah, okay.
Done
Okay.
with that shit.
You keep running?
I keep
I'm
running.
assuming everyone else is running as well at this point.
Yeah. I guess because Kilo's pushed past, I can't be taking point anymore. But yeah.
Okay. So Jen, as you round the corner, ah, man, I think this is. I don't know how to handle this.
Why don't you just describe it and we
So
can
I
talk
think
about handling
right
it.
around the corner, like there are 3 people waiting. They have absolutely heard you coming. And
Oh wait, hang on.
it's whether or not like I think they have a good lantern with a shutter, so they've partially shuttered it, and they've not got like they're not in a position where they're like casting loads of light around the corner, and it's really obvious, like, you know. But there might be enough light that you can see it. I'm not sure how much light a shuttered lantern gives off. I'm not sure how much of that would diffuse and spread. I think honestly, because Saria's behind you with a torch, it might be that you just can't perceive this at all.
I don't got no torch.
You said you did.
You
No,
got
I
a
don't.
light.
I had the light.
You got a light. Oh yeah, you've got that light.
My
Yes,
necklace.
you got your necklace. Yeah. So I don't think they would be giving off enough light that you'd be able to perceive the light they're using around the corner.
I don't
And
know
so-
how light affects my perfect dark vision.
I mean, the way I'm
Maybe-
thinking about it is that like you'd be able to tell very easily if someone was using, like, if someone was stood around the corner using a torch, like, or a candle, even holding a candle up, right? You might be able to tell in perfect darkness that they were holding a candle up. But we've got a brighter light on this side of the corner, so I don't think you'd be able to tell.
Okay.
Um,
So this is a room and it turns what, to the right?
It turns to the right, and so you barrel around the corner, and as you do, you see three people look at you with shock
Or
and
disgust?
horror, and then one of them squeezes like a bulb like on a perfume canister, and you just get the face full of this this weird, like, this fine mist spray.
Mhm.
And
Oh god, you're getting clubbed.
um, and please take a fort test. I'm gonna call this obstacle 4.
My God, a fort test.
Now I'm getting pretty angry, right? Like as I'm chasing these fuckers down a hallway. Like, does hatred come into this at all? Can I?
Oh,
like,
you
use
can
my fort?
can you use hatred instead of a stat as well? I
I
think
Can
you
do it if it's for the purposes of destroying, corrupting, or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So are you gonna like? Are you intending to just like lay into
I'm gonna
these
kill
people?
these guys.
Wow.
What have they done to you?
I'm just gonna kill them.
Cool.
I'd
Once
say I
possession,
shouldn't
an orc
request
player
them, but
may
I
test
probably,
his hatred
you're
in place
probably
of
too
any
far
stat.
ahead for me to stop you.
Yeah, so once per session, an orc player may test his hatred in place of any stat or skill, as long as the intent of the test involves destruction, corruption, or cowardice. Oh, cowardice too. So you could run away with hatred.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can roll fort to resist this. Or hatred.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
If so, they've sprayed you with
Right.
some sort of substance. If you fail this, you're going to basically fall asleep. And I think if you pass, then
This is just
it'll
making me more
give
angry.
you a what's the yeah, it'll give you a superficial wound if you fail.
Okay. So I would like to use my hatred in place of my fort.
Yeah, go ahead.
My open-ended hatred.
Is
Is it? I don't suppose I could get help on this one either.
No, we can't help
No.
hatred.
I mean, seriously.
You're angry on your own.
I am angry on my own. I would also like to reroll that one, please.
Fate coming in real
Yeah, you can
handy
go ahead.
today.
Hey, you get fate, you spend it. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, that's the way it should. You got this.
Oh, piss.
You don't got this.
Okay. So yeah, you take a face full of this gas, and
For a minute, as I sort it in, I kind of stop and I'm like,
you take
and then I just keel over.
you take like 2 steps towards them and like keel over onto the ground in front of them. Sorry, you see Kilu charge around the corner. You see like a spray hit her face, and you see her fall over.
Whoosh. Where are the people behind me?
I guess me and your bodyguard are coming up behind.
Can we take just a 5-minute break, because we've been going like an hour and a half.
That's
No,
fair.
you put us into this fight. Now you gotta like fucking do it.
You picked
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
worst moment to do that.
I really
Ollie.
need the loot for like 10 minutes.
No, stop
10
her.
minutes. All right. 5-minute break, everybody.
Alright.
Jen can post our cat pics. We can coo over them.
I've already posted my cat.
Ollie can go
They're waiting.
to the shitter, and we can
You
figure
said
out what
that
to
so
do when we
strange.
come back.
The
What?
shitter. He said it like the shitter.
The shitter. I'm gonna get some water first, cause I'm all out.
Jen, look in memes on my server.
Memes. Oh yeah, I've seen that. Fucking fail. I'll 20% off. That's good.
I like the Red Dead Redemption one.
Sorry, I'm back.
Well, now I'm trading Pokemon.
Ollie, would you
Look at my
order a
cat.
cup of water with extra whip?
No, I would not. I saw that and I was like, oh god.
I like how you guys appreciate my round boy. Or my round gal.
He looks very small from that angle.
What do you mean?
Like, their body is quite short.
They're curled up. Of course it looks short.
Mm.
She's squished.
Yeah. Cats squish themselves down.
Yeah.
How it happens.
They're like octopuses. They can like squish themselves down to the size of their bones.
It is kind of amazing how they do it. A little
Octopuses-
gross.
Octopuses
Very-
don't have bones, so
Well, yeah, okay. For the octopus, it's their beak.
Yeah.
Right. Anything as small as their beak, they can squish through.
yeah.
There's a weird feedback loop of noise coming from someone.
It's probably Lee.
Try muting him.
It's not Lee. There we are.
It's not Lee. It's Jan.
There we are. I'm going to keep it muted. No, I'm not.
No, her little ears are cold.
It's because I've basically had to turn Jen up to very high volume, so we're
Ah.
getting,
Why?
because you don't set a consistent distance away from your microphone and you shout Yeah, so now
I
you've
don't
moved it.
want to be close. I want to slouch. Let me slouch.
No, it's fine. It just means that we get a lot of background noise from your microphone, right?
That's your fault.
Did Lee say what he was gonna go and do? Just getting a drink or something.
Make a
Something
cake
like that.
pizza.
Ah, okay.
I'm gonna put some music on.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow.
I thought you said 10 minutes.
Well, I only went for like 5.
You lied to us
Liar.
all.
I just need the loo. I really need
The
the loo quite
liar.
badly. So to salvage whatever remaining tension we have,
There is none. You failed.
I did fail.
Ruined.
Yes, I apologize.
It's okay.
So,
Okay, so me and Surya are running up behind, and bodyguard man. So it's sounding like this is going to turn into some kind of battle, but Kilu is passed out.
This is fine.
Is she passed out, or does she just take a wound or something?
Sleep.
she
She's passed
is
out.
she's passed out.
Okay.
It's a night
Can
night sleep
Can
time.
I be woken up?
We will.
We're about
discuss
to find
the
out
method of
because.
being woken up when someone attempts to do it. Right?
Okay, so
Um,
listen up. I'm gonna give you the deets. A sensible person would stop and ask some questions. Surya has the aggressive trait, so I'm going to pull out the remaining blasting caps that I had,
Oh my god.
activate them,
oh my
toss
god.
them into the corner, wait 2 seconds, and rush in. I got a sword. This is fine.
I'm in there.
All right.
Like, I assume you're like right in front of it. I can still see your legs. It's not gonna hit you.
So you're trying to toss them around the corner.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take my hand, throw it in around the corner. I
Are you
put
at
my
least gonna
hand.
peek, maybe? Get a look.
No, I don't need to peek, right? The point is not to like hit them with it or anything. The point is to create a loud bang distraction,
Okay.
which I can then use to attack. With
Would
the
this
sword, I don't know how to
bang
use.
Wake me up.
Yeah, that's the other question.
You're
welcome, gang.
The bang is probably not going to wake you up, right?
God damn
you're
it.
But there are
gonna
multiple bangs, Ollie.
you're gonna go from unconscious to semi-conscious briefly, and then back to unconscious.
A bit rude.
Bring
Dang.
it. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess I will. I will sort of see what Surya is doing, and without really time to stop her, I'm just gonna like put my head down and be
Hope is
be
best.
the efficient warrior that I am and go in there and kill some dudes.
I think this is maybe just this is a weird way of handling things, but I think this might just be a versus agility, because
Because they too do not know how to fight.
they too do not know how to fight, and,
I know
and
how to fight.
well, their response is just going to be to gas you as well. Um,
I've got a spear.
yeah, but you're behind Saria, right?
Well, that's the whole point of throwing those things, right? So that they're distracted enough that I can close distance without getting
no,
gassed.
like
He's
you-
literally
in order
throwing
to get
away all of his keys, right?
in order to get close enough to to have an angle
That's
to
a pretty
throw it
big
rather than
sacrifice.
corner, you're gonna have to be quite close to the corner.
That's what I'm saying, right? I'm not just like standing like 10 feet away and tossing things in like some sort
Yeah.
of weird grenade, right? I'm running around like next to the corner because I know like somebody's got gas. I assume I see it and recognize it for what it is.
Yes, you do.
It's
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It's like the firecrackers in Home Alone. All right, nobody got that. Okay.
Which Home Alone?
So, Home Alone 1.
It's been so long.
So like, yeah, and we made like an indeterminate amount of those. So you're basically throwing them all away. That
Yeah,
seems
yeah,
like a
just
pretty big
tossing them all away.
sacrifice to me. That should be worth something, right?
But at the same time, their response to this is going to
I have a spear, Ollie. I'm just gonna run them through. Like,
they're stepping around. They're gonna gas you both, right?
I have a spear, Ollie. It's longest weapon reach. What is their weapon reach?
They puff out some soporific clouds of
So-
vapor, and you breathe
so-
it in. And
Why don't? So here's the thing, right? This is clearly not an agility test,
this is clearly not an agility test.
right? At least we figured that out.
Yeah.
What skill are they using, and what skill are we using? We can work out okay, so that's what Surya is intending on doing, right? She's gonna
Okay.
run to the side and toss those things. What are they doing?
So one of them is waiting with this this little spray thing to spray sleeping gas around the corner. One of them has his knife out and is preparing to throw it, and the third one has his musket out and is preparing to shoot anyone who looks like they're going to be a threat if the sleeping gas doesn't work.
Okay, right. So Surya's tossing those things around the corner. I'm assuming by the time Tio Sin gets here, he'll be right after the bang and good to charge in, right? So that's what the situation looks like. Tepiani is probably right next to him with a pistol out. So we're not entirely outmatched in terms of weaponry. But that's the situation. So I think we can just do a versus test with 2 people leading with skills. And then everyone chipping in with their own skills.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, we could do that.
And then we'll find out how the ambush
This
works.
is clearly going to conflict, so I guess a bloody versus or something.
I mean,
if you
is your
want, or-
intention to start killing these people, or do you want what do you want to do?
I
I intend to
like
defeat
to. I would like to basically subdue at least one of them, but clearly they've endangered us. So this is now about survival.
Yeah, right. We don't know what gas that is. It is this gas. It could be deadly poison. It could be laughing
you
gas.
don't know
We
if
don't
I'm
know.
asleep or not. You just see me collapse. I could be dead.
So-
You see me collapse, and you're like, "Oh fuck, she's dead."
So it is fight or flight, and we've picked fight, so we're gonna keep fighting. If somebody surrenders, I'm probably not gonna kill them, right? If they drop their weapons, whatever, that's fine. But otherwise, it's a fight.
Yeah, I think you hear someone around the
Never
corner
been in one.
shouting, "Oh God, what is that monster?" In
Y'all better hope they don't wake me up, because if so, I'll kill everybody here.
She will too. He's not joking.
So, bloody versus or skill test?
Wait, isn't it the same
Skill.
thing?
You said skill test. Sorry, and then the
Oh,
intention
it's a versus
is
test, right?
yeah, and the intention is just to make it really clear again.
To defeat them,
To defeat
Okay.
them.
right? If it happens that they surrender, we'll just let them surrender. I assume.
Okay.
I mean, I guess that's why Bloody Versus would work better, because then they'd have to like test steel or something if they lose. But I don't know how you want to.
I think
it's a
I don't know how you wanna
complicated
do it.
enough scenario that it's not a bloody versus scenario.
Right.
See what
Yeah.
I mean?
I think So you can lead on whatever skill or stat you want.
Do you want me to lead, Lee, or are you pushing for your "I'm the leader" thing?
I am also like throwing the things, so I'm kind of this is a bad idea. This is a really bad idea. But yes,
So you're leading.
I think I might be leading.
Okay.
I think it might be weird to lead with this, but I think the only thing that makes sense to use is like the alchemy skill, like as the lead on the other side, because it's whether this sleeping gas is
You could make a new skill called machinery,
yeah
or like firearms would probably work as well, right? I assume it works in the same basic principles: point in the general direction and press the button.
Well, it's the thing of like I have decided what this thing is. I decided what the obstacle would be if you took a face full of it, but I didn't completely like roll it up as if it was a spell.
Well,
Of course.
If I had,
presumably
it
if it
would
was
have been.
made with enchanting, then it's like a force versus test thing.
Um,
Or a force test ability.
yeah. But yeah, hang on. I'm just gonna open this again.
I mean, reaction speed has to play into this a little bit as well, right? Because like they've
I
knocked
feel
down,
like
they've knocked down Kilu, and we're coming around the corner as well.
Mm.
Like they've got to like, there'll be a second where they have to like fill the perfume squisher full of air again or whatever, you know.
I think they have more time than you do.
I'm not that far behind. My main question is like, I don't think it matters if it's alchemy or not.
Mm.
Just give them a skill, call it like, I don't know, machine operating or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Alchemical equipment or
Yeah,
something. I don't really care what it's called,
Okay.
but there's clearly a skill for using this. If they have it, then cool. If not,
Okay.
it sounds like an agility.
Yeah, so I think it might be I'm gonna call it alchemy because I still feel like it's whether this it's the quality of this gas that's in question. Like, is it
So
potent enough?
would the same be true of Suria's alchemical explosion?
So I have
Next
now.
time I make a gun, I will shoot it with alchemy. That's the space we're going. I think we can decide on that later.
Yeah,
Right, we
I
can talk
think-
about all this later. I think we'll just do it as is now.
Yeah, let's do it as is now. I'm taking
Can't lose
5
that
dice
test.
from that, 2 dice from help from the guy with a gun, and 1 dice from help.
He
from the guy
has
with a knife.
5 in firearms.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, is the same going to be true of like Suria's using alchemy because
Yeah, so that's
it's how
worth. That's,
potent her.
so
bombs
so
are.
what Sarir is using is sword, and the alchemy is like what you're throwing is you're throwing like throwing all the firearms around the corner. Like that's probably worth 2 advantage dice.
Okay, so that's like a fork of alchemy or something.
So I assume I'm getting help from Tiatzen?
Yeah, I'll help with spears.
For yours. It's 1 dice. Tapiani helps with 1 dice in firearms. So 4 dice total. We're in trouble.
Isn't your bodyguard gonna help you in some way?
Yeah, he's helped.
Yeah, he
right?
did.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, it's
helping
one dice.
with firearm as well.
Okay, so
Okay.
what's failure and success here?
Failure is the gas you all. And like I guess the threat of like running around the corner and seeing a gun holds you up long enough that like you get gassed. And success is you get to define what the next situation is, right?
Okay.
Like I'll describe what's going on, and you get to tell me what you do. Cool.
I'm debating Arta here.
How much persona do you have?
I got 2.
Yeah,
You know
I'd
what?
put one in if I were you.
Believe in the power of myself. I got this. It's fine. I don't need no. All right, so I'm just going in with 10 dice, but it is being learned dice, so it's trash dice.
Honestly,
Okay.
I think it might be fairer to use agility on them as well. Like, and
That's what my argument
then
was.
it is just a matched. Then it is just a matched weird weird situation. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We'll do that.
Oh, do you not have sword?
I don't have. Why would I have sword? Will? I don't carry a sword.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
give.
thought you were understanding why Ollie was being like.
I'm gonna give them one bonus dice for weapon length because like gun plus plus
Surya
like,
is throwing a bomb.
Surya's throwing
A
bombs.
bomb.
she's
Papiani
getting,
has a
That's
gun
why
and
she's
I
getting
got a
2
spear.
dice.
she's getting advantage dice for that as well, right? We're getting lots of advantage dice all over the
Okay.
place.
I've got 10 dice. I feel confident. My base obstacle is 6. This is great. No additional complications.
Nice.
That's hang on.
Oh wait.
That's actually 6 successes. This is a tie currently. I'm
Okay.
going to spend that fate.
They're
Why is
also
that
going to spend
six
fate.
successes.
Okay.
Wait, why is that
have-
not 7 successes?
Because it's 7 successes, but it's 7 successes which are. Oh wait, hang on. Yeah,
It's 7.
it's the 7 successes.
So
It's
they're
not,
now
it's
matching
not-
you.
No. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna do it. How many 6s do I have? 3. That's a good amount of 6s. It's a reasonable, non-failure amount of
Okay.
Nice.
non-failure amount of successes.
We did it.
Sorry. I did it. I'm so good at this game.
Okay, yeah. So you come around the corner and like another cloud of this gas. Like I guess the like there isn't enough in the air, and you see immediately 3 people. One of them is dressed in black. The second one is obviously dressed as a soldier. And you recognize the uniform, Surya. He's from Chandrapur. And he's holding a rifle up at, well, not a rifle, the like arquebus type gun, and pointing it towards you. I think he like as your explosives detonate behind him, he lets the he moves the rifle off you, so he's not pointing at you. He doesn't fire it. He's too disciplined. And then in the center, you see your old friend, Adept Kana, and she's pointing this this like spray gun of like holding in one hand a canister full of a yellowish liquid, and the other hand like a little spray bulb. And she just looks incredibly shocked as you turn the corner holding a sword and a spear.
I don't have a spear.
I've got
Somebody
a spear.
else has a spear. And
Um,
the other guy has a pistol. I think what it
so
looks
hang on,
like is like
what's the numbers matching situation?
3.
Are we even?
Yeah.
3 versus 3. Is that including our fallen friend?
No,
no.
because the bodyguard, right?
It's-
Like at this point,
Again.
like Tepiani is stepping up behind you and pointing his pistol like through past between your shoulders.
Right. Okay.
It's gonna be.
I think
gonna
we
be a
should
love bang.
we should each dive for one of them and basically each of us
So-
dive for a separate person
So
and put them in a police lock basically.
So I think this is what it looks like, right? Like Surya immediately goes for the person with the gun.
Okay.
But like as she's trying to run past like Kana, she probably like tries to use the flat of her blade to whack the implement out of her hand because
Okay.
like she's in front. And there was some guy with a knife, right? I think she
Yeah.
probably gets intercepted by that guy.
Yeah, so you
And Teppy and
you whack the bulb out of her hand. It like drops on the floor and smashes. The guy with the knife. I
Wait,
think
drops on the floor and smashes.
it smashes. It's made of
So
glass.
we're all
it's not
just gonna
glass.
pass out.
That's a good question. Does everyone pass the fuck out?
I'm gonna say let's wait on that one.
Look, we succeeded. We can say it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't smash. Cool.
Wait,
That's
so Surya,
rude.
you're not
It drops on the floor and rolls. Yeah, it drops on the floor and like rolls to the side. Right.
Okay. Surya, you're not going for your friend, is that right? You're going for the firearm.
I basically assume like she's dealt with the moment like I hit her with with
Okay.
Hmm.
and
so I
make
guess
her
I'm-
drop the thing.
I'm gonna let Tepiani go for the guy with the knife, and I'm gonna pin down the girl with the
Yeah.
bottle.
I think like I end up in a fight with the knife guy and Tepiani just shoots the pistol as gunman.
Yeah, so Tepiani holds his pistol on the gunman. He pauses for a moment and then just puts up his hand and the gun. And I think you and the guy with the knife scrabble on the floor for a few moments.
And then we realize everything's ended everywhere else.
Yeah, and I think they'd stop struggling and probably drop the knife as well. And I think they're the first to talk. They say, "Well, boss, what's your plan now?" And Kana is just like
We're just the hired hands. We literally-
underneath you.
Underneath me.
Teotzin.
I'm like sitting on her.
You can see she's glaring not at you but at Surya.
Right.
I think
I
Surya
say,
like
I sort of bellow like, "Who are you people?"
Who are you? We're just exploring this tomb. It's a free country.
well, I suppose
I
we're
don't
all
think
doing
that
the same
exists in
thing
this
then.
world. That's clear-
We're sovereign
definitely-
citizens.
Finders keepers.
Like no one's in. There's no law here, right?
Yeah.
No, this is the jungle. There's literally not a single nation that has control over these jungles.
So Surya like sort of crouches down to look at Kana, smug grin on her face. Yeah, it is a free country. That's why we're here as well. What kind of
It's also
poison?
a lawless country, I say, pulling out a knife and like holding it to her throat.
Oh my god!
Whoa! Surya
You're gonna get rid of your fucking rival really quick, man.
she has a moment where she's like, "Whoa, that's," but she sees that like you're not going straight for it.
Yeah, no. I'm not like gonna kill her, but I'm just pointing out that her life is in our hands right now.
Yeah, and like maybe that's the point where she feels like, oh, hang on, this is actually a serious thing. She's been treating it like almost a game when she realizes like, oh, this is Kana. She looks over to Kilu. Antidote?
Let me up, and then we'll talk about antidotes.
Nope. Which pouch?
She squints at you.
I
And then
punch
she-
her in the chin.
Okay.
Wow!
Tiatsun is like. Saria is like Tiatsun.
I think she starts crying. and she just like she's just really shocked. She's so shocked she starts crying and she like it's third one, it's on my belt. Who I S- what are you what right do you have?
It's a free country, I say.
I reach back to like get the thing, but also just give Tiatsun the like stink eye. Cool it, man.
All right. Look, seeing that look, I kind of ease up a bit, but I'm still sitting on her.
The man holding the rifle is like the rifle is stayed slung away. He's got his hands up, but he's like looking at like Tepiani, and he says to Tepiani, as if he hurts her anymore, you'd better be sure you kill me with the next bullet. And like Tepiani just like glares back, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I will."
I can't wait for until when he actually has to shoot that thing and misses
Yeah.
horribly.
Hey, he's got-
Please,
Yeah,
someone wake me up.
Yeah, so
yeah, I'm
Suria's
on it.
getting the
Surya
back.
like walks past Dembo and is like pouring it into your like
Oh,
I think she has some trouble like getting
But it-
your mouth
What
into
it
the right.
probably is just like if it's just a fucking sleeping thing, it's probably some just sort of weird esoteric version of smelling salt or something.
Yeah,
Just shove
yeah.
the wet cloth against my face and I just go, "Ugh!"
yeah.
I hope you had a nice rest.
I'm looking around. Do I know who shot the gas at me? Like, did I manage to see that?
Is it 2 steps?
You've got a
Probably.
1 in 3 of guessing right.
There's a glass bottle lying
one
on
of-
the floor.
One of them is obviously like wearing clothes that have large numbers of pouches and is dressed much better than the other two. Right? She's on the floor underneath Tiltson, but you can see her
But she's crying.
blue and gold cloak. Yeah, and she's crying. at the moment,
Tears in
yeah.
her eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
How young does she look? Does she look the same age as Surya?
Yeah, she looks the
It's
same
about
age as Sonia.
that.
I get up and did we ever decide whether or not I was taller than people or
Yeah, I think you
I
are.
think
I feel
non-mechanically, you loom, right?
I do loom. Ooh, I love that. I don't know if it's dim enough or light enough that my eyes are still visibly glowing or not.
You loom and you leer.
Yeah, it's definitely like they are reflecting torchlight horribly. Yeah, and then Kana from the store like sees you glaring at her.
No, hold on. I didn't make my action. I was just asking for you to describe the scene. Right?
I think she sees you getting up, right, and sees
Right.
you glaring at her, and she
I'm
says,
not glaring at anybody. I'm looking around.
It looks like you're glaring at everyone.
Okay.
she sees you glaring death at her, and she says, Saria, I'm sorry. Don't let your monster hurt me.
She really doesn't like that word. I would not use that word again.
I'm ignoring everything else. All I see now at this point, all right, is Tao threatening holding a knife to a young girl.
No, I said I eased up, remember?
Yeah.
You have a
I'm
knife out.
I'm still sitting on her.
You
but
have a
I'm-
knife out.
I
You
always
have
have
a knife
weapons out.
Okay, you have a knife out. You are sitting on a child. All right.
A
And
child
I
who
just-
gassed you.
Okay, well that's beyond the point. All right,
That's
this
not the
is
point.
a child, and I just go, Tell, what are you doing?
These people
And
are dangerous.
I go over and I just like Jacob, get off of her.
I get thrown off of her then.
And I'm just like, I'm attempting to like gently pick up this child. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
She will not look you in the face. I think you lift her off the floor, and like she's trembling, and I think she, yeah, she drops the lantern she was like holding in her other hand.
I like pick myself up and dust myself off and like bark back at Gila, saying like, she just gassed you.
This is a child.
Surya is finding this situation
I just
very
spit.
amusing.
I like spit on the dusty floor.
And I look at everyone that's kind of like still very tense. Weapons are being pointed at people. And I go, clearly this situation is not what we were prepared for. We should back off, I say, looking actual death at Tepiani.
Yeah, I think Tepiani lifts his pistol off the guy. Like he's holding it. The guy isn't holding his gun anymore. It's like slung. It's on one of those like shoulder straps, so it's just hanging by his side. And he's got both of his hands in the air still.
Well, now that we're all friends, how about you tell us what you found so far?
Before that, we should discuss the cat. Are you responsible for the cat?
The black clothed guy like looks up at you like, cat? You mean the statues?
Precisely.
Demons, I say.
Yeah,
Connor see them.
Connor scoffs at you. Is like, those old stories. There aren't any demons here.
Regardless what you believe, are you responsible for the cat that's been stalking us?
I think Surya scoffs at that. Kana wouldn't know how to make a normal animal, much less one of these.
Focusing on practical applications is... Listen, I wouldn't expect you to understand my work, okay?
If you're not responsible for the statue physically coming alive with the soul of a demon within it, we still need to be wary.
Are you still coddling her?
Yes. I have her. Like, no, you don't understand, right? I have her like pressed to my side, right? Like one of my clawed hands is physically wrapped around her shoulders. This is probably the most horrifying, uncomfortable thing that has ever happened to this woman.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But she definitely breaks out of it when she's defending her work.
Yeah, like,
very important to her.
She's like, her head is turned enough to the side that she can communicate, right? She can just about talk, but can't see what's going on.
Does it seem like they're lying, or
lying about what?
Not knowing the danger of the.
I mean, it's quite possible they didn't see it, right? Or they didn't go looking for it.
They're not responsible for making it, though.
No.
Okay.
Like that's definitely that. Surya was completely correct. That's definitely above Kana's pay grade.
It's above like my pay grade, so it's definitely above her pay grade.
Yeah. This is the kind of project that you devote your life to and then leave around, and it protects your temple for 100,000 years, hopefully.
Yeah.
Magnum opus. Okay.
Yeah, Connor like responds to you is like, so this is how it works then, is it? You come to the temple your father points you at and steal someone else's work instead of doing it yourself.
So you've come here for the same thing, then?
Surya shrugs. It matters not how the matter is done, merely that it is.
What exactly are you looking for here?
The same thing we are.
Not quite.
I look at Surya like, really? Chill. We don't actually know. Like, the thing is that we don't actually know what they're here for.
Yeah, but she assumes, right?
I know she assumes.
Yeah.
She's a fool.
Yeah, Connor says, not quite. Unlike you, well, I mean, it's no secret that Demon Labat spent years chasing his tail, achieving nothing.
Yet here you are.
He's made a stir. This announcement that he made. Well, I mean, I couldn't just leave it, could I? He's clearly found something. I don't think for a second it's what he said it is, but yeah, so I guess you could say I'm here to prove to the world that he was wrong. There's nothing here.
You came all the way to a forsaken ancient temple to prove a negative.
Yeah, she hesitates for a second and then says, so what if I did?
She shrugs. Sure.
It seems.
So what have you found so far?
Sorry.
I think Surya like looks to Diazin and is like, we were in college together. Academy.
And I think at that point, like, he just looks her up and down in the arms of Kilu and says, like, does she appear to be dressed in like a similar way to?
I think she's dressed a little differently. Like, she's not wearing, like, Surya is wearing like obvious finery. I think Connor is dressed a lot more practically. It's I think clearly bespoke clothes, but made in a like semi-military style. And she has but over the top of it she wears a cloak in blue and gold thread that Surya, you recognize has her own hometown's pattern sewn into it like over and over and over again across the whole thing.
I very gently pat her head and go, what of Surya's young friends?
Friends is a strong word. But if we could stay off the distractions, I would like to know what you found here.
or didn't find, as the case may be.
Well, if I tell you, are you just gonna let us go?
Surya shrugs at that. I don't really have a reason to keep you. I'm not here to hurt you, Ghana. Just here for the same thing you are, even if it is for a different purpose.
I say, so
Very
not
noble of you.
friends, but not enemies either? Like eyeing Surya.
Certainly not enemies you punch.
I
You were
shake my head.
punched? By who?
That man. that, Sorry, I don't know how you've fallen in with such ruffians.
I turned to glare at Teo and I just like growl at him.
I like take a step back, mostly just out of like surprise and like seeing your angry face and stuff. But I say, I stick to my guns and I say, I'm not going to apologize for keeping us, or for, how would he phrase it? Yeah, I guess he just says like, not 5 minutes ago, these people were a threat, and I had no reason to treat them any other way.
I narrow my eyes and all I say is, we act with the honor of our ancestors.
And I say,
I just kind of like raise my brow in question, as in like, how must yours be feeling?
I say, and what were you to do? You rushed ahead round that corner, bearing your claws. Rushing ahead? I wonder, had you not been so quickly subdued, would your blind rage have ripped this woman to shreds?
Might I suggest
I'm
we
gonna
leave all
let
these
I'm gonna let go. What's the kid's name that I got?
Kana.
Ghana.
Hana?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let go of her. I'm gonna advance on Teo.
Yeah, like kind of like takes a step backwards and is like rubbing her arms, like someone who's been bruised or like something. Sorry, you're still like holding the black clothed person, right?
I had assumed like we had sort of like stepped to like an
Okay.
appropriate distance, right?
Okay.
She's
okay.
now like next to Kana, like talking to her,
Okay.
doing the whole like gloating thing.
Yeah.
Keeps getting interrupted.
Some tension happening in the party.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
No. I'm not saying like it's bad, right?
Sometimes you gotta
I'm
fight.
saying it's happening. Surya is just trying to like say, right, we can handle this later. And I'm not sure if you guys are like okay or not okay with that. But that's what she's trying to get at, right? We can deal with your arguments later. Right now, I need the information of her. You're cramping my style, man. My gloat's gone.
You were saying you like advanced, Jen?
Yeah.
When Surya says this, I kind of like. I look at her sharply and then kind of. I take a step back. I'm like, why?
Surya nods her head in thanks. Now you share what you know, and I will share what I know. Fair?
Fair, she says. And this is the opportunity for a persuasion roll. Because she's either going to give you some good information or like all of her good information, right? If you succeed, she will give you like her picture of like she will give you the most important things that she knows. And if you don't succeed, then she'll hold something specific back.
Cool. I will note my bodyguard has an instinct to check people.
Okay. Right. So we're then. I'm gonna have to read Manhunter now, aren't I?
It's basically this. You can do
Non-magic.
aura reading, which is non-magical, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So reading traits and
Yeah.
detecting
And reading lies.
Lots and lots of mechanics.
So that is or seeing a person's intent
Okay.
to deceive.
I mean, it's like
Yeah, I'll just do the persuasion test first, and then we can
Yeah,
talk
let's do
about
the
that
persuasion
later,
test.
right? I'm just pointing it out first.
Do you want? Well, I guess here's a question. Like, you're not best suited to be leading this role, but
If he ever.
would you be? Would you want to have help?
Oh, I'll take all the help I can get. Right.
Okay.
Because, like you said, I am actually horrible at this. I need to get good.
I should be leading this.
Yeah, like if you want to, like, maybe Surya's not approaching it correctly, and you want to sort of take over. What does that look like?
Yeah, maybe. I guess I see you're like about to like because you've just said what you said. Like, we'll tell you everything we know, and you'll tell us everything you know. I guess I see that. I see her say that, and I say, I just put a hand on her shoulder, on Surya's shoulder, and I say, like looking at what's her name, Kala.
Kana.
I say, Kana, was it?
She glares at you imperiously through her tear. Like there's like, streaks of tears on her face.
Yeah. I say, your knowledge of these things stems from books, I presume.
I've read enough about this place, places like it.
There are things that books cannot contain. Our Surya here is the daughter, as you no doubt know of probably the sort of person who wrote the sort of books that you read.
No, I've never read any books by him. Well, unless you count his last letter, but I didn't think it was worthwhile.
You
I
look through my
wonder-
stuff?
He sent the letter to everyone he had ever worked with. And by worked with, I mean in the same building with them.
Okay.
He like eyes her and
That
says,
sounds like him.
Says, "You're clearly lying, woman. If there was nothing of worth in that letter, then you wouldn't be here. So, why don't we start from the beginning? Tell us what led you into these tombs." And in return, I'm sure that Surya here can share some much more insightful knowledge from her father.
I think Kana begins like straightening her cloak, and she just looks at you with a sneer and says, "Now, if I'd really wished to learn anything about Demanglebart, I would have asked him, not his daughter. And
But he's dead now.
precisely, which is why I find it so offensive that everyone's still talking about him, and not any of the clearly superior workers who remained in the capital, doing their research, being productive."
So superior, nobody's talking about them.
I like wag my finger at her and I say, No, Kana. Listen. Clearly, something that man said, or did, was important enough to bring you out here. Now, Surya can be excused. Surya was the man's daughter. And there's nothing like the love of a child to drive them to do insane things.
I do take
Shh.
issue with that statement, Yatsen.
Shush now, Surya.
Oh
So,
no, I'm not shushing.
Kana, clearly, something that man said sparked your interest, else you wouldn't be here. And before
No.
you lies an opportunity to get deeper into that man's mind. This is a bargain.
Tiatzen, I believe Kana to be the exact sort of person which would embark on a hunt merely to spite somebody else. And I believe she is entirely here out of mean-spiritedness and a sense of spite.
Gotta just answer the question.
I just
And
like
I'm gonna
look,
try to help
I
with
like
my
glare at
brutal
Surya.
intimidation.
Yeah, and I'm just like eyeing Surya with this glare that's just like, you're not helping.
No, I'm not.
I'm
So-
trying to help with my intimidating ways.
Sure, yeah. So, so it sounds like Lee's original intent was get her to share information about the situation at hand, but you are more interested about her reasons for being here.
Yeah,
and that
I'm
is a
trying
completely
to-
different but still very valid
Very
thing
valid.
to make a roll on.
I'm trying to haggle. 'Cause I'm basically.
Oh yeah, you're bargaining. You're saying like,
Yeah, like
they'll
I'm
tell
bet-
you
I'm
stuff.
betting that Surya has some information that will interest Kana.
Yeah. So
Change for
what you were asking for there was information about why she was here, right?
Hmm.
And that is a different. So if we want to make a roll on that one, that's a different thing from getting her to tell you about the situation at hand, and it's completely valid. But if we make that roll, then the condition is like if one of the conditions of failure is that you never get to ask her that question again, right? She's
Yeah.
definitely never going to let that slip.
My expectation is that given that we have followed them down to this point, and that like we're close enough to them, or we were close enough behind them that we were able to follow them this efficiently, that they actually haven't found anything that we couldn't also find given enough time. So I'm more interested in why they're here in the first place.
Yeah, that is very valid. Yeah, so I think failure here is you are never going to get out of Kana her like she's gonna blow you off. She's gonna be like Suria's an insulting and childish person, but she is right. I have high principles to how research should be conducted, and Demanglabat is offensive to me in everything that he stands for.
Okay.
And if you succeed, then she will let something slip that will give Surya a very good idea of what her actual reasons for being here are, right?
Okay.
But you probably, I don't know if you'd understand the context, but like you can decide once.
Well, I think I'm just picking up on it's clear that Surya.
Yeah, so we can push that one.
I'm picking up on context clues, but I'm kind of half bluffing.
Sure. So I think her will is 3. I think we are going to add the enmity clause. I think we put the 2 Ob on the social test because she is an enemy of a player character. Like she's not
Even
your
though I'm the one making the
she's
test.
not your personal enemy, but like this is. I think it's clearly you stepping in to talk for Surya. It's not a separate thing.
We could split the difference.
I think that's fair. Look, you get a free challenging persuasion test. What's not to like?
I think Ob 5 is appropriate here.
Okay. Did you say you were helping, Jen?
I was helping with my intimidation bits.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you like bellowed at the end.
Tired of all this fucking talking.
Okay.
Action.
That's fair.
I would like to fork extortion. I'm extorting Surya.
Yep.
But it's to get information out
Surya?
of Kana.
What?
Well, I'm extorting your relationship with your father.
No, you're extorting Kana, right? You're still around
holding.
You're still holding your spear.
Yes, that's true.
You don't know if there's any other ways up to the surface, but you're sure as hell there aren't any ways without any locked doors up to the surface. Because at the very least, the doors in the top room are all locked.
Yeah. Can I also fork persuasion?
Yeah, you can fork persuasion.
Cool. And
Fortunately, I can only help.
Probably it.
So you're using extortion?
I'm using haggling, but I'm forking extortion. Yeah. Okay, so Ob 5, you said?
Yeah.
Does he get an additional op for me not helping?
Do you want to specifically help the other side? Like, do you want to screw him up? Do you like? If you want to, then.
So, like, here's the thing, right? It's not intentional. It's not.
I guess
like
that's
specifically
doing
doing it.
enmity clause, right? Maybe.
Or it could be a good cop back cop thing, but it's also not intentional there.
Okay, I don't think there's anything.
I guess like it's clear. I suppose it would be clear from that little interaction towards the end there, from Kana's point of view, that like that this is like a really poorly executed good cop, bad cop, which is
like,
maybe enough to invoke the enmity.
Yeah.
One side is not like intentionally doing it either.
Yeah. Okay.
Oof.
Oh, I got a 6.
6. 1 6. This is really the day of the fate. Night of the Fate.
Damn.
Every session is same.
Okay. Well, I got a difficult haggling test.
Yeah, so she
What did she say?
she like I think she wipes away her tears and goes back to a forced neutral expression. I think she says, "You're right. It's not
Vegan, no, come back.
it's not just about the other things that I get to do for my personal satisfaction. There's temples like this. Well, I wouldn't have been able to persuade Magpie to come along unless it had been a place like this. And besides, you never know what secrets really are buried far out in the middle of nowhere. It's possible we'll find something that I can polish, improve. Even those stone statues that you were talking about. Well, that's not a bad research topic. It's the kind of thing that could make a girl really famous. And she's, like, obviously bullshitting you.
But I think,
But she...
having lost the test, Teotsun is like... I look at Surya and I say, well...
Right, so we have a deal or not? Information for information. I also want to know who went into the other corridor.
Sorry?
The locked door.
Yeah, we passed straight by it.
We certainly heard footsteps leaving from the other side.
The man I think the other two people with her, both look confused as well. Like, they turn to each other, share a glance.
Yeah, I think Surya looks at Anna and then looks around and sees confusion all around.
Yeah.
Are you all blind? Do you not see anything in this place? Fine. What you know.
The black
Whatever
clad
that's
guy,
worth.
peeks up and he said, "What did you see?"
I certainly saw a moving statue.
Well, a moving statue, far enough. The other corridor.
I heard footsteps
You heard
leading out
them?
the other way.
We all heard footsteps. Someone else was leaving. We heard the grate of a door.
Because I know my business, and I wouldn't have... No one else had come down this way until we
answer
did.
this question. Before we entered this room, we heard the creak of a metal door.
Yeah, we heard that too.
That
Was
wasn't
that in
you?
front of you?
Behind us. We figured you'd come a different way or something.
Surya takes a moment to look around into the darkness on the other side, and it's like, seems you were being watched. So, what have you found?
The black-clad figure says, "Ghosts."
And I nod in agreement.
yeah. We see Tiatsun nod at the same time as Surya has just got one eyebrow up.
And then they also count they count off on their fingers, no gold, corpses. And then he they look over to Kana, and Kana says, "Do you know what? Do you know what time it is? I've lost track."
I assume there are watches. Like, is there watches in this era?
I
It would be
think,
difficult.
yeah, I think
Like portable watches?
definitely a full-sized clock would be a thing
I think.
that is possible for a rich person to have. I think
Hmm.
a watch would be very expensive, a very luxury item, but not unknown.
Hmm.
And definitely you could do some sort of weird alchemical solution that would be like,
You just shrink everything into a small clock.
yeah.
So I'm just going to say that like Surya has one tucked in her bag somewhere for keeping time or watching. Like, I'm imagining it's like it's basically meant as a way of like measuring time to ensure like everything's sat at the right time and like the symbols are being placed and used at the correct timing.
Okay.
To ensure nothing's like sort of in too long or burning too long or whatever. So I'm assuming she has one in her satchel, so she pulls it out and checks.
Okay. I'd like to ask you to make maybe this is a really odd way to do it, but like depending on what the time is, her bargaining position will be less, or her bargaining position may be really good, right?
Mm.
And I think asking you to make a resource obstacle versus jewelry might not be a bad way of like saying yes, Saria has a watch all of the time. But this wouldn't be one where we're really taxing your resources. This is determining whether you have a watch, and if you do, like it's the correct time. Like I'm basically saying yes to the watch, but using resources as the way to determine randomly whether it's a good time or a bad time of day. Does this feel too far
This
off?
feels way
the
too
beaten track?
complicated for no
It just
good
feels like you
reason.
should just roll a die of fate.
I
I'm
feel
gonna roll
like
a
I
die of
should.
fate.
You either roll a
Um,
die of fate or you just make me roll the persuasion test. So we
Yeah,
move on, right?
let's roll the persuasion test. That makes more sense.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
rolling persuasion. Anyone helping?
I screwed myself up by talking about the time in the first place.
Kilo?
Can I help just by my presence? Like, is my presence spooky enough that they feel uneasy?
I think no. I think you actually have to do something, or ask something, or add something in, right?
Don't worry, I'm
Perhaps
just
we
gonna
should
fail
hurry
this
this
time.
along. I'm a little bit more interested now in figuring out who went the other way.
I was hoping you'd say I grow hungry.
Oh,
Also, getting a little hungry. No, I don't say that.
All right.
can you move closer to your mic, by the way?
Who? Me?
Jen.
No.
Just a bit. Okay.
Okay. So Will's not here right
No,
now.
I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, Will, we're making the test
Hurry.
finally. So
I
he has
grow
been asking.
hungry.
What's happening, sir?
Sirius asking, proposing the deal again. He wants to make the deal happen.
Yeah.
I'm making the roll. You helping?
Wait, you're trying to get information out
I've
again?
said that I'm eager to
Yeah,
get
because
to look into what that other person was that went through the gate, and I would like us to hurry, please.
Okay.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Will.
Okay. I guess I will kick in, or I will add to the Stu, I will say, if there is something here, then it would do us all well to know of it.
Cool. I'll make the roll.
Sorry, I
sorry,
was
Emma.
just gonna add these. Yeah, I'd say the ghosts of these old corpses, while not quick to rise, once disturbed, their fury has no end. So I'd like to help with one of my wisers, probably death
Alright.
cult wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ghost story wise.
Yeah.
Here you go. Rolling in. Yeah. That should be doubled. So
Wait, you
I
don't.
was never gonna succeed anyway.
Oh my
I don't have
goodness.
persuasion. Come on.
Are you telling me you don't have persuasion?
Yeah.
No.
That's why I stepped
I
in.
had I could have fucking done this.
Oh my
Look.
goodness.
My goal in this game is not to succeed, it is to grow. Eventually, I will have 6 will, and I will be laughing on all you peasants trying to make your persuasion tests.
Well, let's
Well, I
play.
already have
Lee, you're playing the
persuasion.
game the correct way. Doing God's work.
So either of you are
What was the
helping. The
worst
odds is
fucking
base 8, so take a challenging test
right.
each.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome, kids.
I
I should have helped with persuasion.
think
Oh, well.
obstacle is actually 5. Because
Oh,
it's 3
they have
plus 2.
5 will?
Yeah, 3 plus 2 for enmity, right?
Oh, right. My bad. So it's
and so
3
you
times 2, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 8 actually.
Okay. Yeah. So I think she says, we've. Well, you know already that it's an Otson temple to their ancient king. I expect you've read some of the writing, seen part of the history they've written. Have you perhaps spent time looking at the ceiling in the sacrifice room upstairs? It's quite an interesting map. Very accurate. We, unfortunately, we've been looking for our way down into the main chamber, but it's been difficult for us to find the passage that leads to the staircase. There's only one left. Well, it should only be a short way ahead, but... Well, if you want, we can go and see.
Right. So you're going to have to like decode this for me, because
Yeah.
Surya probably knows what she's talking about. Lee
So-
doesn't have any clue what she's saying.
Pointing out, I was using her as a vehicle to point out several things that I have mentioned last session that we didn't look into in much more detail. So,
Mhm.
behind all of the alcoves with the corpses, there is writing engraved onto the wall in an old Otson language. This is like partially buried behind like the corpse themselves and like huge mounds of spider webs that are absolutely everywhere. and up in the top room, the very first room of the ziggurat, I mentioned that the ceiling and the walls are covered in a astrological chart, lines extending between the different stars and displaying the points in heaven, and the lines extending all the way down the wall. Yeah. So she was pointing out those two different things and being like, well, obviously you've looked into these and don't need my help in deciphering them.
Of course.
And yeah, she also mentioned that the story in general is of this ancient Otson king, although she hasn't read enough of the glyphs to know what the full thing, right? Yeah, but they were looking for a path down to the main chamber. Yeah, and she's inviting you to come with them and see if their route has been successful.
I think while she's saying that, I'm like looking over one of the dead bodies in an alcove and
Hmm.
like yeah, I'm like feeling the top side of the alcove and like brushing some of the cobwebs away and then like feeling the engravements and stuff.
Okay.
And like I'm wondering if I might be able to figure out the significance of those engravings on the graves or on the alcoves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
So.
partially to partially just for our own purposes, but also partially to like have a thing that we can still use as like bargaining information with.
So do you read you described that there are like ancient texts stored by the priests of your religion, right?
Yeah.
Can you read those?
No, but I was thinking like I was thinking more about like what sorts of things would what sorts of significant meanings would they have rather than what do they literally say?
Okay.
Like why do we do that? Or do we still do it? You know, like I want to use the whys here somehow.
So you want to use the whys to figure out the meaning behind the glyphs.
Right,
what-
yeah. Is this something that you have a definite answer to, or can I try and establish something?
You could try and establish something. Like what was it you would be wanting to establish?
I was thinking like that the different graves that we've been passing down at different levels have different sorts of symbols carved on them. And like that is denoting a sort of yeah, like a codified significance, like their title or their profession in life or something like that. And that if this tomb is going to unveil its secrets to us, then we need to be following the trails that lead us to the right profession. So it's sort of like if we're looking
Okay.
for like something to do with immortality, then we should find the runes that are to do with like long dead healers or spiritualists or sorcerers or something like that. Like try and find someone whose profession in life was magic related.
Sure. Yeah, cool. I think this sounds like details. So
Details.
obstacle 3.
Obstacle 3 for grave-wise?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I fork Death Cult-wise and
Yep.
Tomb-wise?
Yes.
And can I fork appraisal?
Not really.
Okay. Philosophy?
Sure.
Okay.
I think failure here is that that they've worked this out already, and that you look down and you're like, oh yeah, we need to be following their the path that we need to be following will be one that is like lined with these past healers and mystics, and you look down and there's like a someone's name and then a renowned a renowned grower of herbs, and then across from them is like someone who could read ancient languages. Yeah,
Okay. Nice.
yeah, cool. So yeah, so you succeed. So are you on the right path right now? Actually, no. I think this
Yeah.
is still true. You're on the right path, but like they haven't really put this together. So
yeah, and
they-
I can't read the runes. I have this like feeling that this is what it would be about.
Okay.
So I think I keep this information in my back pocket for now, and I'm gonna like see where they lead us. If they're leading the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as you like look up, probably like we're just wrapping up. Surya's basically just saying like, "Well, I've already told you all I know. Lead the way."
Yeah. So I think they go as a group in front of you, and the passage doesn't drop down another floor. This is the last floor down.
We're almost there.
They lead you round a couple more winding turns, and then you can see that the darkness takes on a different, more empty quality at the end of the corridor ahead. The black-clad person walks forward to the edge and peers over, casting their light around, and says, "I'm sorry, Kana. This one's no good too. We'll have to start all over again. I could have sworn that it would have been this one. Damn maze." And then they, yeah, Kana like opens with her hand, gestures with her hand openly to invite you to look down into this chamber.
Sure.
And you see that the passageway leads out to the start of a set of stone steps, but it only leads about 3 steps downwards before they break off abruptly and fall away into the darkness. Casting your light around, or Kilu just looking across the room, you can see that there are 4 other sets of broken off stairs, and one set of stairs that's still mostly intact. It's chunks taken off it, but it's still standing. And you can see it arcs through the air, almost completely unsupported, in a single diagonal line from the edge of this corridor down 2 full stories of the pyramid to the ground. So it's a 30-foot or so drop down to the floor, which is
Exactly how long our rope is.
yeah.
How convenient.
Yeah. As they say, like, we've been looking for the way down those stairs, and this doesn't seem to be it. So, we'll bid you good day, I suppose.
You didn't bring the rope.
Were
We
you
have
not
ru-
the ones who had a grappling hook? We found the marks on the glove.
Yeah. I think the magpie like huffs. And they like put their hands on their hips. This is clearly not a conversation they want to have. Kana says, "There's too much heavy lifting to be done. I wanted to find the stairs so that when we started going around down there, we'd have the ability to move up and down freely."
So, all right, I just need a moment to like refresh the image here, right?
Mm.
I'm imagining like there are 4 steps of stairs, all sort of broken up. There's one which is still working.
Yep.
So there's 5 total.
Yeah.
Right? They're all on the same level.
Yeah, they're all like,
And one goes.
and they all go
So hang on.
down into this big chamber.
Isn't that a very weird thing for them to say? Because they could just go down to the chamber and walk up those stairs.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Surya.
I guess I didn't think this through when I was
Do
thinking.
we just let them go?
Maybe-
And then-
maybe-
No.
Maybe
Surya's instinct is always share my knowledge with the ignorant. And Surya's just like,
All right.
why
All right,
would
Lee.
you not
You don't
be
have to
able
tell
to
me
find the stairs from below?
I feel like I want to wreck on this.
That's cool. Right, it also makes sense.
No,
I feel
you
like-
fucking made your bed. Now you lie in it, motherfucker.
I feel like there is perhaps they had not previously reached this room. They were expecting to reach
So this is the first one
They're
they've
ex-
come to.
yeah, this is the first one they've come to, right?
That's fair.
Unbelievable.
That's hilarious.
This
I'm
smells
I'm
like
so
butter.
incredibly big. I'm impressed with myself.
It happens sometimes.
Hang on.
You've done yourself.
I think we need to stone our GM.
I think we need to take a break. Yeah, but seriously though, I think we might want to take the break before moving on. Would you happy to do that? 'Cause I need to get myself more water. Refresh
I'm getting
yourself. Right, see you in like 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
I can't believe we've been lied to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a drink.
I'm back and I'm still feeling embarrassed at my own stupidity. Did everyone else leave?
Maybe. Maybe so.
Okay. Cool. I'll leave as well, again, briefly.
Yeah. Hello?
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 Hello? Well, we're almost there.
I just thought that their excuse was going to be like they had tried, but their rope wasn't long enough.
Mm.
They only expected to go down the 10-foot drops that they had seen from above. And they
So they
weren't
only got 10
adequately
feet of rope.
prepared. Yeah. So they were like,
Fools.
we can't make this drop, and we can't find the stairs down, so we're going to have to leave and then come back at some other point.
Hmm.
Instead of, oh, they very clearly had a rope that was long enough. Ollie just fucking forgot that they could drop down, go up the stairs, and then see where it came out.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
I'm too dumb. I just didn't
It
think.
would-
I didn't spend the time to think of that, right? I was like, hang on, let me just think about how to make this an interesting thing. And I was like, and I didn't put two and two together that I decided they'd already found it. Like, if they hadn't found it yet, it would have made more sense, right? And if they,
I think the
yeah,
other thing is also that, like, you've got a very weird map when you do that.
Mm.
Because what you end up doing is, like, you go that way and suddenly you have, like, very little in terms of points of references for, like, how to get back up.
Yeah.
Though, to be honest, like, it seems like the thing is built in a way where, like, as long as you're going up one of those holes, you should be fine.
yeah, it's not a real, it's not a true maze. You're not gonna get lost down there like for ages and ages, right?
Mm.
Oh well.
It's cool. All it happens.
You should still stone him.
Stab who?
Stone him as punishment.
Me?
Yes.
Oh,
Where will we find the rocks?
On the ground?
But we're in, like, different countries. Oh, Ollie could be stoned by countries from different nations. It's very international stoning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm. Maybe. I think next time I'm gonna try to be, like, a bit faster on calling out rolls. Because we did spend a lot of time on that scene.
we did,
Fine.
yeah.
It's totally fine. Don't worry about
And, like, Jen,
it. Yes?
you can also do that by just asking, right? Like, if you think, like, the scene's dragging on too much, that, like, a roll should be made, just tell us.
I sort of did.
But we're dumbasses and, like, are thick.
Well, then what's the point of telling me to fucking
So-
tell you guys if you guys are gonna
So,
be
like,
dumbasses
literally
anyway?
say it. Literally say, guys, you want to make a roll here? Let's move on.
Yeah.
Because, like, I tend to find with first-time groups, we are... You're just slightly not... You're either not comfortable enough or, like, don't know, like, the standard operating procedure to be just like, hey, you guys want to make a roll here? Is this done?
Yeah.
Drug.
So it's sort of like set expectations, make sure we're all on the same page on that stuff.
I can now challenge the Fast League.
Challenge the what?
The Fast League.
Ooh. What even is that?
Pokemon.
The Fast
Po-
League.
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon?
Not Pokemon Go, I'm sorry. Magikarp
Oh.
Jump, which is a Pokemon game.
Magic
Magic-
what?
Magikarp Jump.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So you're just a Magikarp and you jump.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you not played this game before? It's
No.
really cute.
Mm,
You guys should play it. It's very cute.
well, isn't it on the Switch or something?
No, it's on the phone. It's free.
I'm gonna look this up. I feel suspicious.
What do you mean you feel suspicious? How is this suspicious?
There's just a general feeling of suspicion. You know, it's happened sometimes. Oh, hang on. Do you guys have iPhones or Androids?
Android.
iPhone, unfortunately.
Ollie?
I have an Android
iPhone.
because I'm not some sort of fucking elitist bitch.
Ollie?
I have an iPhone.
Well, there are upsides to iPhones. The main one being like, go look up 6 Ages on the Play Store, because it's like, it's basically the sequel to King of Dragon
Oh,
Pass,
yes.
but with cooler art. Like, look at this art. Where's the cool picture? Well, I'll just link the Steam page. I'm still waiting for it to come out on PC.
Where is it?
Here we go. Click on like the third image and the last image.
Looks pretty neat.
Right? Look at how good that art is. I really like the picture of the lady firing a like fire arrow. It's just like stylized in a way that says A+.
Oh, yeah, no, this is good art. Yeah, this is really nice art.
I'm
It's weird how-
assuming
There's a couple of the pieces of art that look like they're in the old King of Dragon Pass style, like the character portraits and the
So-
second image.
I'm assuming like it works like this, right? Like
Mm.
all the other stuff is in the real world, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But when you do like the hero quest, you get like the full on mythic vibe with these
Yeah,
pictures.
okay, and then you get the upgraded, like really cool looking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like what Avatar did and
Yeah,
Korra did.
absolutely.
That was good too.
Yeah, so
Hello.
so you go down to this, you turn the corner, and together you see this big chamber for the very first time.
I don't think we have to go through it again. Can we just say we put the rope down and start moving?
Yeah, you can
There's
go
something
ahead.
to pin it to, right? I assume.
Wait, did they say they didn't have? They weren't the people that made the grappling hook marks.
No.
They were the people who made the grappling
Oh,
hook.
they were. Okay. So our ropes combined, we can probably all get down. By the power of Grayskull, we can all abseil down this hole.
It's true. We can all abseil down this hall.
Yeah.
You sound unenthusiastic about that.
No, I'm just thinking about what happens. Yeah, so they're going down the hole. Like, I think I think you get a better look at like the black clad figure. You get a better look at them by now as well. They actually wear a cloth mask over the bottom half of their face. They're uh, honestly, they're kind of dressed in a bit of an extra fashion. Their clothes are black, but they have two very long, and you recognizably pure diamond ear studs going through each of their ears, and they've dyed their eyebrows purple for some reason.
Here's the Nazi analogs. We're
Uh,
playing Indiana Jones, so there has to be Nazi analogs.
And yeah, they help you. They help you find some way of tying the ropes together, and you take it in turns, shimmying down into this this chamber, the floor of which seems to be covered in the rubble from the stairs above, and covered in yet more spiders' webs.
Ah, god damn it! I just spilled coffee on myself.
So yeah,
That's a good end. I'll capture that. Oh, coffee.
Yeah.
It landed on my shirt, and then I was like, "Oh no, I spilt it!" And then the hot coffee sank through my shirt and touched my skin, and then it hurt.
So this room is maybe a quarter of the footprint of the entire tower. So it's very large and much more expansive than the previous rooms you've been in. It's 2 entire stories high. The central floor, you can actually see. You can't see any of the air shafts that were leading to various places, leading into this room. And around the edge of the room, you can see, I think, 4 doors per side, 4 great stone doors per side, decorated each of them with a profile image of carved into the stone of different people. And looking around, you maybe see that on the wall next to you, there's someone wearing the raiment of a king, next to someone who's dressed as a farmer and giving out food to a child. And in the center of the room, there is a great pile of rubble, covered also in these cobwebs. And through this, the light of your lantern glints off a red metal circle, maybe 20 feet wide or something. You can barely see this thing. You can't see the design in any detail at all. But you can tell it's there because there's enough gaps in the layers of detritus. And the other thing that you notice walking around in this chamber is that you keep crunching and tripping over bones.
Ooh, what kind of bones?
Yeah, it's
Human bones.
mostly animal bones. You
Okay.
find a lot of animal bones. Like there's various types of bones you don't recognize whether it's from animal or human, right? There's
How
no way
old
to
do they look?
really tell.
They're from the Bone Age.
I think you can probably find bones from that look maybe only a couple of weeks old. Like you probably stumble across something that is still got little straps of flesh clinging to it.
Do we see
And
any
then you
cat
find
fur?
some stuff that you stand on it and it crumbles.
So it seems like we're in some kind of den,
Mm.
like an
Or
animal den.
errors. Yeah, it could be the
Like
statue.
these bones seem like is it that? Yeah, I mean they must be right. Like we wouldn't. This is sacrilege to me. If this was how a culture was treating their dead at the very bottom of this place, then that seems off to me. So I have to assume, and I guess I announced this to the group, like this seems like the work of an animal or multiple animals.
Perhaps we've stepped into the animals. My bad. Perhaps we've stepped into the statue's lair. So, sorry, where was the red circle again? In like this room?
So it's like at the very center of the room,
Mhm.
and it's mostly buried under this pile of rubble from the stairs.
Okay, gotcha. And then like there's sort of bones strewn across
Yeah,
the
it's like
rubble.
this pile is maybe 2 feet high, right, in places. And yeah, there's bones strewn across the rubble, and this pile especially is just like this whole place is covered in cobwebs.
It's like okay, so like the reason are these like cobwebs like all around the bones as well? Because it must have been disturbed to be there, right?
Yeah, so the bones quite often I think this big pile is one thing, and then like the bones etc. are in the rest of the space, and they're not really like they look like they've been dragged
Yeah,
or dropped.
Been moved. Yeah, alright, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just inspect the red circle and see what I can see from that. Because I suspect there might be like symbols or signs on it. Looks like an alchemist circle, I think. Does it?
You can't really get much of a look at what the design is, because it's like almost completely covered. But you can tell that it's clearly some sort of metal that's been tinted, like steel or something. And you can tell that there is a design, that the whole thing is some sort of great picture, rather than being a alchemical circle for the purpose of like doing a alchemical work.
And there are no other ways out, right? You said like there are no like air
Yeah,
holes.
there's these five
There's
passageways that lead back in, and that's it. And sorry, and around the edge of the room there's 4 sets of 4 stone doors decorated with the
icons.
engravings of different people.
But like there's no pattern to them. There's just like engravings of different people on each of those doors.
Yeah, I think you could look for a pattern there.
I'll do you one better. I'll get someone else to do it.
Yeah, okay.
Kilu, you know religious symbology. You've been a priest. And like she inclines her head towards one of those like doors and is like, can you discern any meaning from them?
I will go and examine these doors and attempt to discern meaning from them.
Delegation.
I feel like this is a test.
I have doctrine, I have read, I have religious history.
Yeah, I think it could be religious history.
Okay, can I force the other 2 into it?
I think you can.
Baller.
I guess I will be. I mean, I'm looking around at everything as well, so I can pipe in. I guess I can help with 2 moys.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, could it be this king or this figure or this figure?
Yeah.
And I'm helping with ancient history. Is Kana and friends helping?
Kana and friends are discussing something.
Wow, rude.
Okay. So, what's the
I think the obstacle is probably 3.
Okay.
It's not very difficult here.
wow?
Get
And I
good.
don't think I can. I don't think I can use
There's-
fate on that, can I?
It's not magic.
No.
No, it's not magic. Yeah, so this reminds you of the tombs from back home.
Maybe what it is, right, is that because this is potentially an animal's den, the animal has made itself comfortable here, which includes scratching up everything.
Oh, unfortunately, no. That was good. No, it doesn't work.
What do you mean it doesn't work?
Doesn't work.
Look,
Maybe it
Ollie's
doesn't
got
work.
No, I
something
think
planned for
okay.
these
No,
icons.
the good failure here. The good failure here is that while you're going over this, the other 3, like you aren't paying enough attention to them. You're paying too much attention to this, and they climb back up the rope, and from the top of the passageway, like the other 2 are back in the passageway, and Kana says, "Well, we found the chamber. I expect I'll see you here tomorrow. But, well, I don't believe in working all the hours that the gods send for no reason. So I'll be taking my leave for now."
This is a big fat lie, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, do we at least get to know what's up with the symbols then? Since
Yeah. I'll tell you what's up with the symbol. Yeah. So the symbols are, I think they are showing relationships to the honored ancestors more than they're showing the person who is within each tomb, right? So these are clearly all people who've. I think the words written on the outside of each tomb do not match the picture. So one of them might be described as a great warrior, but his picture is of a woman who is teaching a crowd of people, and so the pictures are of like who these people are descended from. You can actually recognize probably the one of the founding ancestors, Tiltsin, that your town likes to say that they found their lineage from. Right? You probably recognize the picture itself from their own tomb that you've stood guard outside of. So yeah, these. Yeah. So if you
none
wanted, and you probably also recognize the image of the ancestor of a town, and you can tell me if I'm going too far off the base here, of a town who your town has traditionally been fought battles with, who
called a
your town
feud.
has feuded with and stolen from and been stolen from.
So many cows lost.
Yeah. Well, so many like dead ancestors' jewelry lost.
Jewelry as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and you spot like there's several of these, and like, I mean, there's 16 tombs, so there's likely to be an incalculable amount of treasure in total behind these doors.
I guess
Okay.
quick
I'm
question.
more
'cause I
worried
have an
about
instinct.
like, did they take the rope?
No, they left the rope behind.
Okay, so they're just cowardly bitches. Fine, whatever. The cattle get it.
I feel like they have a
I'm upset because they're desecrated dead here.
Yeah.
There
I
are
was
the
about to-
spilt bodies of our ancestors here. And they need to be
Well-
appeased.
Hang on. Wait, we're in like a pit full of bones
Mm,
that have not been properly buried.
no,
Um,
they're animal bones
Might-
mostly.
yeah.
You've not managed to
Mostly.
find any human bones, but
okay,
it's
no,
possible
no
that there are.
comment.
Like,
Okay.
I don't know if you're searching. If you want to search completely fully and decide if there are any human bones in here, you can go ahead.
I was mostly just gonna say like, well, these dead people are clearly accursed. So, is there any like jewelry on the floor or anything?
No, you gotta open the tombs. You can't raid tombs by hanging around in the.
Well, yeah.
Open
So, is there any
foyer.
like obvious jewelry in the foyer, or
there is a
What do you?
there is a big from this angle. You can see that part of the big floor thing is made of gold.
right?
That was red.
Well,
It's
from the other
painted?
angle, there was bits of red. Right? It's a mixture of different metals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I guess I look at like Kilu's sort of worried expression, and I say, I think you can relax. These are mostly animals.
Mostly. But a beast has taken lair inside of a sacred tomb.
Do you propose to hunt it?
You're gonna have to repeat that because I didn't actually hear what Lee said.
Do you propose to hunt it? Drive it away.
We
Set
must
a
get
trap.
rid of the creature.
I say, this tomb hasn't been sacred for some time.
Doesn't rid us of our responsibilities, of our obligations. Our obligations are to the people
Which
and
people?
to our ancestors.
I say, there is no one left alive in this jungle save us. And then he like looks up at the hole that we came through, and them. We came here for a reason, to spend time re-sanctifying this place would be a thankless and time-consuming task. Kilu,
You do what you must.
Kilu, you've been there. So if you know more than I do, please. Tell me.
I didn't go to the frontiers. I was trapped in hell. More reason than not to help to help here. My job do what you will. I'm gonna go around and if there are like skulls on the ground and shit, I'm gonna pick up the obviously human skulls because I don't think I have the knowledge to separate any other bone
Mm.
types.
Yeah. Okay.
And then like put them back or put them on parts of the tombs, right? And I'm gonna start the rituals necessary to sort of like keep with the spiritual upkeep of this place.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
probably singing involved. Doesn't sound great. It's like a instead of singing, it's like a dirge, really. It's like a
Yeah.
chant. I don't think she can quite sing anymore.
I think I would definitely help you. But I would, like, whilst we're picking through the bones, I would try to sort of gently remind you that, like, true sanctity comes from proper preservation, and what little remains here will be very difficult to bring peace to.
Okay, I'm not gonna pay attention.
Like every time we're picking up a bone or whatever, I'm just like, this one's too far gone.
Every single one.
Jesus Christ.
Well, not repeatedly. I'm not a fucking NPC.
Press X, Sean.
Pick up a bone.
John!
This one's too far gone.
Okay. So
I'm
yeah,
busy,
you
I'm doing
you,
my
like,
job.
you find the, like, Tilton, are you looking for the parts that are, like, are you looking for human bones and helping? Or are you
Yeah, I think I do believe that the ones that have completely been stripped of all flesh are too far gone. So I'm specifically looking for the meteor ones.
Okay.
There
There aren't
I have anatomy, so I should be able
Yeah.
to pick them out.
So I think you only, like, looking through this place for human skeletons that have any meat left on them. I think it takes you a while, and you realize that there aren't any, right? That, like, you're going through and you're finding, like, pieces of bone after pieces of bone that have all been picked clean or almost clean, and it's almost like something has been, like, in the cases where there's flesh left, it's like things have been eating around something that's, like, toxic rather than something where it's been left because it hasn't been gotten to yet.
Right.
And I think Kilu, you, as you're looking through this, you find like, I think face down and partly partly dragged into this big pile of rubble and spiders' webs in the center, what must be a relatively fresh corpse. It's completely a skeleton. There's no flesh left on it at all, but it's wearing a uniform that reminds you of the uniform that you just saw that assistant of Kana's wearing. It's clearly a Chandrapur military uniform. And they're
Wait.
just,
Hang on. So it's a skeleton with no flesh, but it's still
Yeah.
wearing a uniform.
yeah.
It's got scraps of uniform on it.
It's
Wait,
it's
so
got
is the
most
uniform
of
untouched, or
the uniform is, like, it's not in good condition. It's, like, been partly, like, there's big holes in it. It looks like it's
So-
been weathered much more than it should have been. But
So, what color is that uniform? Is it the black? Because you've mentioned Chandrapur uniform, but I don't think, like, I have a good like image of what that means.
yeah, I think the uniform consists of probably, like, any trousers or, like, any, like, lower garment that you want. but it's a like a tunic, like a thick tunic that is worn without, like, a collarless tunic that comes down to mid thigh of a padded material, and the front of it gets decorated in cheap brocade, but showing like the wearer's town in a patch generally. I haven't put a huge amount of thought into trying to put a military costume.
It's fine. Like,
Um,
I just wanted a sort of an idea because you've been using the word and we didn't really know what it meant.
yeah.
Cool. Sorry, interrupted.
Yeah, but it's like it's been completely eaten away. And I think as you pull it, like as you start gently lifting the bones up to move them to this better place that you want to set them out so you can start blessing them. Maybe 20 spiders crawl out of the skull and dart away into the mound of webbing. And as you move the other bones of the body, more of these spiders appear hidden inside its cracks and cavities of the clothing, and scurry away into the cracks. And I think it's quite likely that that while this is happening, you probably do get bitten a couple of times, and the individual bites like cause your skin and hands to go numb around the place where you've been bitten. But there aren't many of them, and the spiders aren't doing much to like. They're not being overly aggressive towards you, right? They're not. It's like a bee that stings you because
Playful
it's,
nibbles.
no, like a bee that stings you because it's disturbed, rather than a wasp, like a horde of wasps who are like all angry.
Attacking you aggressively.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So one thing we didn't go back to is like the time, right?
Mm.
Because it seemed like Kana was very specific about timing.
Mm.
Did like Tiotzin sense anything there? Or did anybody else sense anything there? Or did I sense anything there? Right? Like,
Did you?
It sounds like you did, because you're the one that's picked up on this.
because she was the one like Kana very specifically asked, "What is the time now?"
Yeah.
And it seemed to matter to her, which means that like if she's leaving as well, there very well might be something to that.
You mean you think we should be here at a different time of day?
I merely think that there might be a correlation between my colleague leaving the scene and the reason why she asked the time. I suggest we head on up. Once she nods at like Kilu, who I'm assuming is like sort of ignoring this and still like performing the rituals.
I am
Jeez.
examining this weird body that I found that clearly does not belong here.
Mm.
Yeah, like I'm assuming you're sort of in the process of like sanctifying it or something.
What? No, this doesn't belong here. Get it out.
It's like, no, shit, fuck this body. This is a
Um,
Chandrapur body.
Yeah, do you want to like, if you want to pick holes in the other bodies, I think like one of them probably like they're probably not like the second oldest body is probably dressed in clothes that are recognizably not the same as the clothes that like they're not grave clothes, right? They're not wrapped up in.
Wait, how many bodies are there that don't belong here?
Yeah.
There's I think 5 total.
There's like a pal.
Yeah, like
I'm sorry, did you say there's 5?
yeah, 5. In this whole room of like of animal bones, you pick out probably 5 human skulls. One of which is like a couple of which are very old, like they crumble almost at the touch. But three are more
I'll be
recent.
right
One
back.
is sorry. 3 are more recent. One is new, like I've described, Chandrapur. And the other 2
Okay.
are. We should
So
probably
it's
wrap up here,
like-
to be honest.
Yeah, probably. But just to
You
get
sure you
this,
don't wanna?
just to get this clear, so it's like some Chandrapur dude came here, died,
Yeah.
and then they sent another one,
Back.
and they died too, and then they sent another one, and they died too.
No,
Like-
it's like
Jesus
so it's
Christ.
like two people who shouldn't have been here turned up here maybe like you have no idea how long ago, but a long time ago, right?
Right.
And then since then another 2 quite random skeletons with almost no like cloth survive, like very old, right? To the point where you don't know where they'd have come from.
Right.
And then this last much more recent skeleton that is like the bones are as white as the bones of the recent animal kills.
Right. Okay, so there's 3 bodies that don't belong here then. Is that right?
Well,
At
there's
very
5.
least.
Yeah, there's like
The other 2 might belong. Yeah, well, there's no grave clothes, but it might have just been eaten away.
there
But
is.
at
What I'm
very least,
saying
there's
is
3.
there's no way of determining for the other 4, right? Whether they are grave robbers or originally like Otson dwelling people. There's
Right.
no way of determining that whatsoever. But for this last one, he's definitely
Taking this guy.
shouldn't have been here. Yeah. But for any of them, they could have been grave robbers. But you just don't. There's no way of ever working it out, right?
Hmm.
I'm not gonna worry about that. If
No.
they're here and I can't tell, then they probably belong here.
Yeah.
This guy, however, does not. Get the fuck out of here.
They all don't belong here, maybe.
If I have a stack, I'm just gonna stuff it into a sack and then take it out to dump it.
The Chandrapur person's uniform and stuff, like, were they carrying anything else? Is there any like tools or bags around?
See a cool sword anywhere?
Yeah. Do you wanna scavenge for tools? Do you wanna take a look through?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and scavenge for some traveling gear because I don't have any.
Yeah, cool.
He gets a whole bag here.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Like his old bag, you can like it. You can see it. It's buried in this massive stuff, right? It looks like he like it looks like he got dragged in and then it got like gone over the top of him, like like they remade the webs over the top of his corpse.
Okay.
But yeah, his bag's sort of in there.
Okay. I don't think I have scavenging. So what would you reckon my job is to find his scavenging gear, his traveling gear?
I'll help.
I'm gonna say this is just an agility test. I'm
I'll
gonna
help.
say, and this is just an agility test against obstacle 4.
Wait,
and
why is it agility?
well, because you just need to lift the bag out. Like it's.
Can I use hauling then?
I don't think it's like hauling sounds like I'm lifting something heavy.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This sounds like I'm lifting something and hoping no spiders bite me to death.
Yes. Right. You need to get it out without waking up loads of spiders and have them bite you to death.
Sounds like a stealthy or a sleight of hand.
I don't think sleight of hand exists here.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
This is spinning wheel. Every skill exists.
Except swimming.
Well, if
Not
you can't
swimming,
decide
fuck
in like very quickly, we'll just
All right.
move on.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go for sleight of hand then.
Okay. So
I'll
gonna-
help. I don't know how, but I'll try.
You pull him back if the spiders bite him to death. Help with power.
My sheet is broken. God damn it.
Okay,
You
so
should get that
versus
checked out.
observation for a spider. I'm gonna go with spiders have 5 dice for observation. Because
Observation.
For
They're
observation.
trained in
Yeah.
observation.
because
It's like,
this is covered in spider webs,
yeah, spiders for sure.
right? So like any other situation, they are completely incapable of sensing anything. But sensing something that is moving their webs around is absolutely what these spiders are trained to do.
I sense a disturbance in the web.
What if I just like hold on?
Okay, so
What if I-
one success.
Oh wow. Okay. Is anybody helping?
I'm helping.
I'm not helping. So we are sort of like working on a pattern on the floor.
You're helping with agility. I take it.
Yes.
Okay.
I kind of want to just like lay the scenario out. Like if we just have to move this bag here, I'm literally just gonna put like my fucking flail on it, right, and just kind of lift it so the spider.
Yeah, so
leave.
what I imagine happens, Will, correct me if I'm wrong, is you take your spear and you like hook it through an like you hook it through the opening of this bag and like poke it through the fabric and then just slowly lift it up and then like slide it towards you. Slide it towards you, and then like 30 spiders jump out the opening of the bag, crawl up your arm, and just start biting you, and
Wait.
you fall
Hang on.
and you fall to the floor and start writhing around as these spiders begin to bite you.
Hang on.
Well, I'm gonna try to drag him out of the
my-
fucking spiders.
Hang on. Well, I mean, I guess we'll have to go with what's on the rolling thing, like when you hover over successes.
Mm,
But I've got 3D dice on, and one of the 3D dice is a 6 for me.
weird.
3D dice is fucked.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry about
Take a screenshot.
yeah.
that. So yeah, I think we can leave it there for now, and we can.
Okay, so I'm getting poisoned to death.
we can-
but at
we
least
can
I got
do-
traveling gear.
No, you're
Do
not
the
being
house-
poisoned to death. You're being numbed, which might make like get like a
Paralyzed.
respiratory problem.
Yeah. So Will needs to roll against being poisoned to death.
Okay.
Can I help him by smacking the spiders off?
I feel like we can come
Probably
back to
a
that
good
next time because we want to do our beliefs quickly and then all leave.
And yeah. Okay.
Alright, sure.
Sure. So yeah, I think Lee, you're right. We like that scene in the middle did go quite long. Yeah, we started late as well.
Yeah, well, we started on that.
No, we
Well,
started
actually,
like
We
started,
did
like
late.
so.
Okay. So,
Let's
we'll...
do mine first.
Let's do yours first.
Okay. I didn't really make much progress trying to find immortality.
Hey, we're in the
Um,
chamber.
You're in the chamber.
We are in a chamber, and it did roll to like try to do a thing. It just didn't work.
That's Burning Wheel in a nutshell.
Sorry.
Yeah. Theo does seem to be a respectable man. However, I did fight with him today.
Yeah.
I liked
This
your
one-
fight. I want to
This
see
one
it.
may change.
It's definitely going to be interesting when you come back to that, right?
Okay.
Um,
Do I get any sort of fate for that?
do you think you
You
deserve
could-
a fate?
I think I deserve a fate for that roleplay.
In which case, I think, like Ollie said, if you enjoyed it, you nominate it for embodiment.
Yeah, I
Because,
might.
like,
I might. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't get a
Because-
fate. No fate
because this
belief.
belief didn't go on to like.
It didn't turn into a full mold breaker. So
No.
Yeah. If it turned into a mold breaker, take the persona. If it didn't, and like because you're specifically playing against it. Oh no, actually. Yeah,
Too late,
like
I've taken the fate.
for what?
It's
No, I
mine.
don't think you get the fate. I think Lee's
Wow,
might-
you
you might
literally
get-
just said I got fate for it.
No, I
Ollie-
think Lee's right. You like this is a nomination for embodiment for
You
role
are
playing
the
generally.
weakest
in this.
bitch.
embodiment
So-
is persona though. That's better.
A, that's better, but B, also like per the rules, you get fate for playing towards your beliefs, and it sounded like you were playing against your beliefs, which
Do I
is
get, like,
fine.
anti-fate? I'm confused. Do
You
I
can't
get
get-
you
something
don't-
or
you don't
nothing,
get-
please?
You don't
You
get
get nothing.
anti-fate for this. You get nothing for this, but you get something for your role playing.
Okay. Alright. I didn't do anything with Surya. I did something with another child, however, not with Surya.
I think
No,
that's
take one from
fate,
Eternal.
the maternal trait,
yeah.
right?
I
That's
agree.
a trait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on beliefs.
All right.
All right.
Okay, I did do some rituals.
Yes, I think like I think we can definitely say that like I don't think you had time to finish this because like
I'd say
guilt-
definitely fate.
Quickly.
Yeah.
What do I get? Do I
Fate.
get anything
Fate
for
for
it?
that one.
Fate?
Fate for
Okay,
that one.
one fate. Alright. My husband didn't come in. I
No.
didn't rise early because the
Son.
sun hasn't written.
No.
When you lose an arm, this trait is going to be very funny.
It
This
will be
instinct is
very
going to be funny.
Okay.
Not right
Okay,
now.
and I got
Maternal,
a fate
okay.
for maternal.
We're good.
That's about it. And
Okay.
then, do I get something? You guys said something about embodiment.
We'll go to that once we're done with all like
I
the
think a
fate on
fate
that
for
character.
maybe a fate for ancestor worship. No, because we got one.
Yeah,
for
started
belief.
belief.
Yeah, so a fate
That's
for
why you don't
maternal.
make
So
traits.
it's two fate and one persona, I think.
We'll
Unless
get to the
people-
persona later. Let's
Okay.
go through
No,
the
not
character sheet
later.
stuff.
In
Not
either
later.
3
need to
minutes
leave
or
right
now.
now.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Nomination for embodiment.
Nomination for embodiment. I think. Yeah, I found it really interesting. Like Jen's play the session has shown us several different sides of the
Aspects.
character.
Yeah, I would
Um,
agree.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I got 5 fate again. Now
That's
I
not
have
fate.
2
That's persona. Oh yeah, gotcha.
Now I have 2 persona, which means I can now do not only will to live, but like a complication or something.
I like how your persona goes purely into like bad
Not
stuff.
dying. Yeah.
Listen, it's the only thing that I really need in this game. All right, I need assurances that I will not die immediately once I hit 0.
You
Okay.
haven't died yet. You only went to sleep for a bit. It's fine.
Every session that I do with Burning Wheel, I go in it knowing that there is a 70% chance something will instantly kill me.
It's called a crossbow.
Will knows. Will knows that's how I roll.
I'm glad you didn't decide to do an actual combat mechanic with those people. If you'd been going in to kill them, then you might all have died.
She probably would have murdered them all.
One
Oh no,
person
she has
would-
3 speed.
One
Never mind.
person would definitely have died because like musket with 5 and firearms is
It's no muskets. Like guns are trash, mainly because like you have to roll a 6 to do anything decent with them. Or
But no, if you have lots of successes, you increase
realized...
the number, right?
Yeah.
And then-
I would have
It's
held
50-50.
up once I realized that one of them was not an adult
yeah.
in my
you're
eyes.
an adult.
No, in my eyes.
24.
In
That's
my
fine.
eyes.
Okay. We feel looked down upon, all of us.
You could.
Cool.
Alright, about peace.
All right. See you.
Yeah.
See you, Jen. Alright. Real quick. I will honor my father's legacy, prove his thought is wrong, find a clue hidden in the temple before Canada's. Made the rolls to persuade them to lead us to where they were going, and find out more about the temple as well.
Oh, I had the wrong person open. Yeah. Yeah, finding clues before Kana, like that's some. You've definitely worked towards that. first belief.
And if I just keep going, I will find a clue because she's gone. I got this
Yeah.
in a bag.
Like if you're saying right now that you don't intend to just leave and go back, then absolutely you can take a persona. But that's the
Mhm.
persona that you're earning in advance for the decision not to turn around.
No. Right, I'll take the persona when I complete the task.
Okay.
None of this lone bullshit.
None of this lone bullshit. Good.
Second one being the boss. I played towards this, but I don't think like I made any rolls on this. I probably could have shouted at Teotzen more, but I feel like I'm looking for like downtime to just discuss this with him because like all our current scenes are like there's enough stuff going on. I don't want to complicate it even more with just like
I think
I'm
that's why
pretty
it's
much
been-
done with setting up the situation here, right? I think like we at the start of the next session I will briefly describe this. Like at the start of the next session we'll work out what happens with Teotzen being poisoned, and then I will re-describe the layout of the temple, and you'll like I don't think it's interesting to put barriers in your way going through the temple again unless there's something urgent pushing you to have a path out, right?
Yeah, when I heard like no air holes, I was like, is this whole thing one big trap? No air holes mean we could be suffocated.
Yeah, it's got the 5 passages though.
True. These things are true. Choice and illusion. Everything is fated. Knowledge is fine. I don't think so. I think like I could probably argue I played towards it by like looking for knowledge. But I can't. I don't have in mind a specific moment where like that was the main motivating factor.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it. Sharing my knowledge with the ignorant. I'm gonna argue like I could probably have just pointed a gun at Kana and be like, "Hey,
tell me your stuff." Yeah, I mean, like definitely I'd agree that you'd take a fate for this because both you and Jen worked to de-escalate that situation a lot, and you could have just kept it as a very like we're here and we beat you in a fight, so you have to tell us everything, right?
Yeah.
It could have been a much more extortion-based conversation.
I played towards never letting anyone stand with my father, but I don't think it got me in any trouble."
Yeah, you didn't really slap her around, right? Or like
She was just like, "Okay, you wanna insult him? I'll insult you back."
yeah, you played towards it, but you didn't really.
It's not like trouble.
Yeah.
Sketching didn't matter. Aggressive though, I'm gonna take one for aggressive.
You should take one for aggressive.
Risky maneuvers.
Yep.
So I'm up to 6, I think. I can't remember what my starting value was. So it's like, all right. Imperious, matriarchal, colorful. Nope. All right.
Cool.
I'm done there.
Okay.
Well.
So these teams are dangerous. I must keep our party safe. I definitely work towards this.
Yep.
I did.
Hey, no. I think this is a persona, right? You like.
Well, we're not out the tombs yet.
Yes, that's true. Okay. You've gone in. You haven't got out again yet.
Yeah.
See, this is why writing beliefs where there's a specific, very clear end goal is helpful.
Let's see. So I did like try to prod this one number 2 a little bit, but I think for similar reasons to what Lee was saying, like I didn't want to get too into the thicket of the theology with Jen because there's so much else going on.
Yeah.
I think I would like a fate for the third belief because I was trying to step up and take over that conversation with Kana as a way to sort of show Surya that you can
don't know everything. Sorry?
As a way to show that you can rely on other people.
Yeah, but
you
like,
don't have to do everything yourself.
but unfortunately, like Kana knows Saria too well, and
Played her
wanted-
like a fiddle.
and wanted to like she wasn't reacting to you in that situation.
No, but I was trying.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think no, I'm just describing why it failed. Right?
Mm.
Yes, that's
So
a.
fate,
I agree.
fate
That's a
for
fail.
that. Are we getting fate for just like being in the tombs with the looking for clues stuff? Did Surya got one right?
Yeah, so you did get one.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, last session that happened as well, and I was like weirded out why you guys didn't get it as well.
Right, yeah. So I guess I'll take a fate for looking for clues in the tombs.
Yeah.
And I did actually like inspect graves and stuff.
Oh
which
yeah, you've
worked
found
you
some.
made a
I
roll.
have, yeah.
You found some details about these tombs, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Instinct 3
Maybe.
got me in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I'm now being poisoned.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Horribly poisoned.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a lot of fun trying to roll up enough successes to save your sorry ass
Mm.
on alchemy tests.
And I would like a fate for bitter.
Punching people for no reason.
Yeah.
You're not polite at all.
I've not been polite yet.
Yeah, vote that one off.
I'm polite to certain people, you know. I'm polite to my betters.
I mean, that's just, the word polite suggests that you're polite to everybody. You're the politest person ever. But
Yeah,
you're just
you-
like, you're-
Most of the time, you're polite.
I fully expect Surya to like get base humility voted off unless she really grovels at some superior soon.
Cool.
Okay,
So I'm
that's
going to stop the
1,
broadcast
2,
here.
that's
No.
5 fate.
So,
Stop.
Okay, I've got
We
10
haven't-
fate.
We haven't done Arta for everything else.
oh yeah.
Before.
Everything else.
Humor?
So-
No humor?
I don't know if there was humor.
None
apart
of
from-
memorable.
there was out of game humor when everyone realized that I'm dumb.
Alright, so Ollie, you get one fate for the character Ollie.
Thank you.
Spend it spend it whenever.
I will use it next time I make a mistake to attempt to fix my error.
Yeah, just re-roll that. Maybe it works out next time. No right skill, right time, I don't think.
Not yet.
Oh no, actually.
Mm.
I'd argue there was a right skill, right time there with Tions and like using Grave Wise to. That was a really cool, clever solution to the thing. Right. It might not.
in a campaign of yes.
The specific application is my point, not like
You
buying
haven't.
the skill.
I feel like you haven't actually used that Gravewise call
I haven't
yet.
used that knowledge. Yeah, I guess like there was. I forgot to really say it. So I'll wait till next session. But like, now that the other lot are gone, I would share what I found out.
And you'd be able to use that, like, if they sealed up all of the, like, if you hadn't been drawing a line on the floor and they'd sealed up all the place, you'd be able to use that information to get back down here, right?
Yeah. So I think that will, well, it's up to you, Ollie. I think. Like, do you want to retroactively give me a fate when it matters?
I don't know that I'm going to remember that.
Yeah.
And
I'm also going to point out, like, all these are group decisions.
yeah,
This is not GM decisions. You don't award a fate for, like, the GM says take a fate, you take a fate.
okay, good.
Right,
I'm
so
not sure.
putting
Well,
it on
I
Ollie
guess
is
the
unfair.
fact that you let me make the test means that it matters. So
I feel like the fact that I let you make the test, like, I am interested in, like, this is a place where you ought to be saying, hey, can I have more information, right? And anytime you say that, I want to be able to say, like, let's
Go
roll a
ahead.
dice and see like, because those are opportunities for me to either push a different thing into happening and say, oh yeah, the Panther comes back, or you know, like that kind of thing.
Enters all the way down.
okay.
Yeah. and like the fact that I have some vague ideas about like what is and what isn't necessarily mission related knowledge. Like it's useful to know these things about the tomb, because like it's a thing that you say in one moment, yeah, I care about like where people are buried in this, right?
Mm.
And so me saying doesn't matter, just like, yeah, they're buried however you like all of the time would be really odd.
Yeah.
So like basically I'm I'm not sure. Like I think it might be worth a fate for right skill, right time. But then again, we're in a
So-
tomb raiding expedition.
And also, like, I just wanted to call out that it was a clever use of the skill.
Yeah.
Because the other thing with right skill, right time is just like supposed to be like, oh, you have the one skill that's required for like
Like-
this specific moment. That's the only way out of this situation. We need that skill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's having the skill to make the story go is what it says
Yeah.
in the little description.
Not having a clever use of a skill. So
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Had we all been stuck and I'd come up with that, maybe.
Yes.
that
Yeah.
would have been cool.
Okay.
Embodiment
Embodiment we have talked about and awarded.
Workhorse.
Melbreaker we have talked about and not awarded. The workhorse.
I feel like possibly me for workhorse.
All right. Case.
Like, just, well, yeah, I guess just taking point and being the muscle, like quite literally, for most of this session. But well, yeah, I'm not really sure if the workhorse one is kind of strange because it's doing all the work for a scenario, and I don't really feel like we're out of the scenario yet.
So the wording for it is like sacrificing your gear, being in the background, and being very much a support player, right?
I've not been doing much proactive role. I think the only proactive role I made was Gravewise and Sleight of Hand right at the end. So I know the haggling as well. Okay. But I've been helping a lot with basically every other test, I think.
Yeah, helping a lot is like the other indicator, right?
Yeah.
Ollie, how are you feeling? Because I'm sort of 50-50 on this. Mainly because I'm like, I have the moment in my mind where like Jen was just like, I go down that corridor and then I get gassed.
Wouldn't that be more MVP?
MVP is for like shining. Right? This is more like taking the hits for the team.
Getting gassed is the crucial element of success.
Right? Being the workhorse character, the most relied upon in a given scenario is worth a fate point, a persona point. This is for the mundane stuff, having a piece of gear to make a scene go, having the skill to get other characters safely through danger, and just generally slaving away behind the scenes to make it all work.
I don't know. I'm not.
I think like if we're unsure, we just leave it, right?
Yeah, I'm not like. I'm not super stoked on the whole workhorse and MVP for every session in the first place, so I'm not like fighting for this tooth and nail.
Yeah, but also like I want us to be in a scenario situation where like we do workhorse MVP, but only when like we feel everybody's like, oh yeah, this was a moment, right? We want to recognize it. We want to show it up. Like sometimes you very much see like a session where somebody is clearly like a workhorse or an MVP.
Yeah.
And you definitely want to give it, but like, oh guys, let's just wait until the scenario and it just doesn't work. People forget.
Yeah. So I guess like embodiment, or humor, like sometimes there just isn't a thing.
Yeah,
for
there isn't. There doesn't need to be workhorse every session, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense.
The only thing I can see for MVP is maybe Surya for like the sword rush. But
Yeah, I think again, like this has been
it also
a
doesn't feel like a big
this has been a
enough
section
number.
of mixed success. So
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
happy to
I
move on.
don't feel strongly about either.
If we don't feel strongly, we don't give it, right? When we
Yeah.
feel strongly about it, by all means, let's go.
Hello.
Hello.
Did you just leave for the whole chat about that, Ollie?
I had to
You
leave.
piece of shit.
There was an electrician who
Fine.
needed.
We
who needed
decided
talks to
that
do.
nobody gets any outer from
Yeah.
now on.
Oh, good. I don't have to have that conversation. In that case, I will thank you both for your time and end the broadcast.